Don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, Daddy. A rebel.
Lies on the horizon. Sky is blue, no denying. News with Skyjack Morgan. Bright and early new dawn.
Yeah. Vision morning some glory. Who with your body side by side? Sky will keep you well supplied. Good morning headlines with Skyjack Morgan. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Information for you, darling. Hey everybody, how you doing? I don't know how these boxers do it. Yes, it started, Navi. You're here. Bam! I like this last way. Boom! Hey, welcome to the show. My name is Skyjack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator, free speech and critical thinking advocate. This is the Morning Sky Show, the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. And boy, are my arms tired. Thank you so much for being here. I think you're beautiful. I think you're wonderful. I think you're so sexy. And I think you should have a good day today. I think you should have a good day. I think that's what you should do. I think that's great. I'm hoping to have a good day today. I'm gonna meet with an estate sale person. An estate sale person is coming to my house to tell me, hey, we're gonna sell all the stuff that you own in life. I'm purging, baby. I'm gonna sell pretty much everything I own before I get out of town, before I eject. Navia, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I never understand people who are like, man, when I left Vegas, it's only like 3.5 hours away. That's not that big of a deal. You know, I packed up a moving van. I moved out here. 3.5 hours, you know, that ain't so bad. But people going across like LA to Texas, you're going to bring everything you own? Bro, Texas got a totally different vibe. You're not going to want to bring your old Martha Stewart white plates to Texas. You're going to want big, big, big plates. They got big portions out there. You want to put a star on it. You got to put a star, the Lone Star State. And I'm moving to New Mexico, man. I want to have like New Mexico stuff. I got like I don't know, lizards, I guess, are big there. I don't even know what the vibe is. Route 66 stuff. I'm going to get my kicks on Route 66. That's what I'm thinking. Sell it all, says that chip guy. Be free, you know, just like in Fight Club, they said the more stuff you own, the more your stuff owns you. And I'm thinking, man, I'm trying to sell everything. Just start all over. New wardrobe. New everything. Completely fresh. Fresh start. Yes. New Mexico, love it. Yes, I'm going to Mexico, baby. New Mexico, baby doll. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking, I was having chats with ChatGPT yesterday. Not ChatGPT, I forget who. Google. I was having a chat with Google yesterday. I can't keep all these clankers straight anymore, you know. I was having a conversation with her, I don't know, and talking about, man, I got to get involved. I said I don't want to be a landlord because I hate landlords. I think landlords are evil. I think landlords got something wrong in their soul, man. There's something about that job that infects the soul, and then you just start dying and getting eaten alive by this soul-crushing virus that you've contracted because you're a property owner and you're controlling somebody's necessities, like a roof over their head. If everybody needs a roof over their head, it's not right, to like to control that and exploit that. So I'm looking into commercial real estate. I'm thinking that'd be so much more fun, like talking business. I used to own businesses. I don't want to own and operate a business anymore. But the idea of like helping somebody else and becoming a steward of the community, I think that sounds really cool. What do you think? I think that sounds nice. Hello, Rebels. Chip Pixie. How are you doing? Ooh, I'm doing it, Chip Pixie. God, I'm ready for takeoff. Today, my estate lady comes, and tomorrow my new real estate agent comes by. Oh my goodness, homeless skyjack. Yeah, I'm gonna be homeless for a hot second, probably. No, my goal is to not be homeless. But I can hopefully step 1, step 2. Hopefully I'll be all right. I'm really hoping. Fingers crossed, you know what I'm saying? Wish me luck. Hey, yeah, heck yeah, that Chip guy likes the idea. Will you come visit me, Chip, in Albuquerque? I hope you will. I want you to come visit me in Albuquerque. I think you would enjoy it on Route 66. You could get your kicks on Route 66. Have you ever gotten your kicks on Route 66? They are kicking. They're like a 3-legged ninja. I'd be kicking hard. Anyway, we're going to talk about other stuff today. Lots of news. This is the #1 news reaction show on YouTube, the Morning Sky Show. I hope that you enjoy it. Here's the graphic. Here, hold on. Here's the graphic. There it is, the Morning Sky Show. That's it right there. Thank you for being here, everybody. I think you're wonderful, and I can't do it without you, especially to you channel members, Sky City Rebels. You know who you are. We're going to be doing an afterglow after this, and tomorrow I'll be on Watching Humans podcast. I was supposed to do a call-in show and the Pick Your Battles and gaming last night, but, man, I had so much going on. I had calls, and then one of my fish died, and that fish was like 7 years old, and I felt so bad. My little fish, all his little brothers and sisters were already dead. He's been sticking out, and he was sick. You know, he had like one of those things where his eye got all really big. You know, sometimes fish when they get old, they get like something like that. And I was so sad to see him floating. You know, I thought he might pull through, but I was like, nah, this is too much. And so But today, we're going to do more streaming today. There'll be lots of streaming today, all day, every day, baby. We're going to keep going strong. I hope you'll support the channel. Unacceptable, you say. Yeah, it was a bummer. You know, people think, you know, I always get upset when people think that dogs are like somehow more, I don't know, emotive than a fish or whatever. I get it. Dogs kind of look like humans. We've bred them to look like humans and stuff. Their faces, you know, they're such expressive eyes. But, you know, when you get to know an animal for 5-6 years or longer, it doesn't matter what species they are. You really get attached to them, and you realize that all animals, big and small, they want to live, and they all got a little spark in them somehow. You know, they all got something going on. They all got some kind of little emotional life happening. And I think it's just sad to see one extinguished. So that's where I was yesterday. Appreciate it. New Mexico is largely affordable. It's about chili. Sorry about the fish. Thank you, Philip Heimel. Let's call you Phil. Hey, Phil. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping that it's affordable. It's a boom town right now, so I'm hoping that maybe I'll get on the ground floor. I'm pretty excited. I hope that things will work out for me. A little luck. I used to be a really lucky guy, and since the pandemic, it's been a little less lucky. I mean, I've had some luck, but I've led a charmed life. I've been a very lucky person in my life, and I'm hoping that maybe this is the time I'm gonna get back in the luck. Ein Glücksbringer. Ich brauche einen Glücksbringer. Ich bin mein eigener Glücksbringer. I'm my own luck charm. All right, let's watch some news. Thank you so much for being here. We'll get caught up. We'll get caught up with all the other stuff. You know, we'll get chatty. We'll get chatty.
You are watching Fox and Friends First.
Fox and Friends First. Here we go.
On this Tuesday morning, I'm Carly Shimkin.
And I'm Todd Pyro. Let's turn it right over to Alex Hogan in D.C. with the latest.
Todd Pyro. He calls himself Pyro, but it's Pyro, right? It's Pyro.
On President Trump's China summit. Alex.
Good morning, Carly and Todd. So President Trump criticized Iran's response to Washington's latest proposal.
Alex, you're supposed to be wearing a cross. This is Fox News. I don't know why you're not wearing a cross. Hey, member 5 months, Ariel. How you doing? Morning, sir. No, pull no punches. I don't like to pull no punches, man. I'll pull no punches for no punks. I don't pull no punches for no punks. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Sky City Rebels rockin', represent. Please give me a W for Ariel in the chat. I got triggered today when a convo on Discord. Man, Discord is a it's hard. It's hard being there. It's hard being there. I mean, it's built to trigger you.
Which was calling for an end to the war. The president calling this a piece of garbage, saying that he didn't even finish reading it. And Iran's response to the U.S.
This is a piece of garbage. I don't know how to read.
This plan had called for the U.S. to pay Iran for war damages, recognition of Iran's sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, an end to U.S. sanctions, and the release of Iran's blocked assets.
Also, we now own Lego. Iran should also say, we now own Lego. We're the only ones allowed to do Lego propaganda because we're the only ones who know how to do it. We're the only ones allowed to do Lego movies from now on. Iran, home of the Lego movie. All new Lego movies will be produced in Tehran.
Unbelievably weak, I would say. I would call it the weakest right now. After reading that piece of garbage they sent us.
You're so weak. It's almost as if this war is meaningless and it doesn't have anything to do with nukes. And I thought you didn't care about the Strait of Hormuz. You didn't even know what the Strait of Hormuz was 6 weeks ago. Donald Trump, now 10 weeks ago. 8 weeks ago, 9 weeks ago, I don't know. How long has this war been going on? How many children have been killed? How many? I don't care. It's so weak.
They didn't even finish reading it. They said,
it's so sad. I can't even look at him seriously as the president anymore. Like, this guy's not really the president, right? Am I being punked? I'm being punked. We're all being punked. Ashton Kutcher is about to come out of the White House being like, That's what's going to happen. It'll be like the Practical Joker guys are in his head all the time. You know, that like he's got an earpiece and the Practical Joker guys are like, tell him that, say quiet, Piggy, see what she says. Say quiet, Piggy, see what she says. Call the black one a bitch. Do that. Yeah, man, call the black reporter a bitch. It'll be hilarious. It's like that. They're in a van someplace talking to Donald Trump, and this has all been a very elaborate prank from the Impractical Jokers. I don't know what that show's called. You know what I'm talking about. There's a guy in his head. It's either Ashton Kutcher or the Impractical Joker guys. That's my point.
I'm going to waste my time reading it. I would say it's one of the weakest right now. It's on life support.
It's on life support.
The Speaker of Iran.
After he said life support, he went, Dr. Oz, you're in the medical business. Is life support good? It's not good. Life support's not good. I was on life support once. It was when I was on COVID, long COVID. I got long COVID. I got big COVID. I got the biggest COVID. I got the longest COVID. I got the longest one. It was the worst COVID that you can imagine. It was the best COVID that you can imagine. It was a tale of two cities. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the worst of times.
Parliament responded saying, quote, there is no alternative but to accept the rights of the Iranian people as laid out in the 14-point proposal. Any other approach will...
Hey, Ben, this is not a joke country, okay? We didn't go around killing all the Indians, well, 90%, have you call this a joke country? How dare you, sir? This is not a joke country. If this is a joke country, all countries are jokes. And there should be no such thing as borders, and that because borders are basically just a threat of violence. And violence being unethical in the pursuit of power is should be avoided, right? Since it's unethical, so then all countries are unethical, and so in a way, all countries are jokes. Is that what you mean? God damn it! It is a joke country, but that means all countries are jokes. Do you think we'll ever wake up and see that all countries are jokes? That it's all a joke? That borders aren't real? That when you look at the globe, those lines on it, they don't exist? None of them do. The longitude and latitudinal lines, but also the borders, they don't exist, buddy boy. They don't exist. Joke country. It's all a joke. The whole thing, the whole idea of a border is just a joke, a very violent, mean joke, like the galling of Malvolio in Twelfth Night. For all my Shakespeare fans out there, all my Shakespeare fans know what I'm talking about. The galling of Malvolio, am I right? It's basically, yeah.
Be completely inconclusive, nothing but one failure after another. The longer they drag their feet, the more American taxpayers will pay for it. President Trump did argue that a diplomatic solution is still possible, although there's some speculation about the...
It's impossible, but they're garbage. This guy, of all people, calling anything or anyone garbage is rich. It's richer than a Cadbury egg. It is richer than the most beautiful chocolate cake. I had the most beautiful chocolate cake with James Comey. It was so beautiful. It's richer than that. Him calling anyone garbage. Unbelievable. All because Nixon couldn't convince Mossadegh to sell oil to Israel. How weird, huh? All because Nixon couldn't, or all because we don't like it when people decide their own future. We want to decide our own future, but for Iran to decide Iran's own future, no way. We got to install a Shah. Make sure that oil money comes the right direction. Am I right? We got to make sure that oil money comes to yours truly. Good old US of A. Red, white, and blue. Who's a joke country now? We got your oil. Whoop, got your nose. Got your nose. I got your nose. It's just joke. We have your oil. It's not. We don't care about your nose. We want the oil.
Current bargaining pressure. One Wall Street Journal op-ed argues that the regime figures it can outlast the U.S. on the Strait and the issue of uranium. Amid the instability...
Iran is basically saying that they are straighter than the United States. The United States is not straight enough. Do you remember when Ahmadinejad said that there was no such thing as a gay Iranian? I think that shit's so funny. I love that. No such thing. No such thing as gay Iranian. Are we rich again yet? Antonio, yeah, man, we're rich. Haven't you heard? Spirit Airlines bouncing back. I'm richer than ever. That's why I'm living in I'm going to buy a mansion in California because I'm so rich. People are like, Sky, is it so expensive to live in California? Yeah, but I mean, it's not really that. It's that I'm leaving California because I'm making less money than I was, and I'm spending more money than I was, mostly because of tariffs and bullshit like that, like my coffee doubling in price, my gasoline doubling in price. It's really not California's fault. I was adjusted to California. I was buying very little. I was paying the rent. Or the mortgage. I was just barely making it, like most Californians. But then the United States government decided to put a wooden dildo at my butthole, and now I can't see straight because it's made of wood, and it hurts. Welcome to America. Thank you, Donald Trump. Was it a tent pole? Yeah, it was a tent pole. It was a tent pole. It was a tent pole. God damn it. This tent pole. Sasha.
The region source is telling Fox that the United Arab Emirates has carried out its own...
Coffee doubling, yeah, buddy boy, goddamn nearly. Went up about 65%, little guy, went up about 65%. My coffee beans, I was buying nice coffee beans, but those went up crazy. So then I started buying the cheap coffee beans again. But back before Donald Trump, a 12-ounce bag, actually it was a 14-ounce bag of coffee beans cost $4.49, and now they cost $6.99. So yeah, they're going up, baby doll. That's right. Maybe you should look it up, dumb piece of shit, Mr. Metz. Mr. Metz, it's you again. I see your name. Oh, you're the dummy. I'm sorry. You need to go outside, touch grass, go to stores, read things, Mr. Metz. I'll ignore you now. Thank you for being here.
military strikes on Iran as well. And just this morning, U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee says that Israel sent Iron Dome anti-missile batteries and personnel to operate them in the UAE. So more developments there on the growing relationship between those countries. But all of this, the instability, the war with Iran, all of that likely.
Yeah, I mean, it was 68%, but also they lowered the amount that was in the bag. Like it went from 16 ounces to 14 ounces. And now it's 12 ounces, but at 16 ounces was like 445, something like that. And then it went down to, it's a full 4 ounces less of coffee beans, but the price is now $6.99 on the cheapest coffee I can find. That's the cheapest that I can find. So yeah, coffee is crazy. Like right now I'm drinking somebody left a bottle of Nescafe instant coffee and I'm drinking that shit just because I just don't want to spend the extra money. And it's not like it's so much money like, oh, you can't afford $5 or whatever. You can't afford $6.99. It's not that, man. It's that I drink coffee every day. It's like, it's an unavoidable expense for me. Like gasoline. The stuff that you do every day is what you're getting hit on, and that's what's really messed up. You can't like tighten your belt really, except if you find a bottle of Nescafe like I did, or you try to tighten your belt in some ways, but you can't buy less gasoline, not really, if you're going to work every day. Like the amount of gasoline you use is probably going to be close to the amount that you use. You can maybe carpool a couple days a week, maybe even take the bus a couple days a week, but you're really not going to make that much of a cut unless you like do something just very extreme, like start working at home or sell your car and start doing something. But you're still going to be screwed. There's the daily expenses is what we're getting killed. Your electricity, my electricity went up something like 25 to 30%, depending on like how you look at it. Some places it's 300% that electricity has gone up because of the cost of infrastructure repairs. If you were already in a place like I am where they were already making infrastructure adjustments, well, all those infrastructure adjustments are now more expensive. I can't use less electricity. I already use very little electricity. I'm already always turning shit off, always worried about it because I lived through the Enron scandal. So I'm very aware of how much electricity I'm always using. So I can't actually limit it even more. So it's just a 30% tax on me. Goddamn near 30% that I am paying extra because of Donald Trump. That ain't good. That ain't good. And that's the thing. Yeah, and not to forget the AI data centers. The AI data centers are that's definitely important. But the big thing hitting us, the guys who get the double whammy, like over in New Jersey and stuff, that whole area in the Northeast or whatever that area you want to call it. It's like, I forget what it's called, like P-Jam or some shit, or Jam P. I forget what they call it. They've only got a few electric companies that are over there, and they're getting hit twice because they got the data centers going in. They had inclement weather, and then they had infrastructure repairs. And it's just like they're getting hit so hard. It's like some places are paying 300% what they were in electricity. I feel lucky I'm getting off with a light 30% increase, But I can't adjust. I can't become more frugal when it comes. I'm going to use electricity. You know what I'm saying? That's why this is why what Donald Trump's doing is so reckless and so mean-hearted and fool-headed. And it doesn't affect the rich people the same because $1 is worth more than it is to Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk has, $800 billion. I have nowhere near that. So $1 to me is actually quite precious. And to him, it's like he wipes his ass with it. So for him, he doesn't care about, the electricity's more expensive. It doesn't matter. So it's really just a tax on the poor. Coffee more expensive doesn't matter to him. It does matter to me because I was living so close. I was always living so close to the wire. I've lived as a creative for the last 5 years, and it's been really close to the wire. Because I'm making less money, I'm trying to build a business, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not alone. It's not just because I'm creative. There's a lot of people trying to build businesses. I've built businesses before, and when you're doing that for like 5 years, you're really playing it close. You're barely making it if you're even breaking even. You're really lucky if you break even within the first 5 years of a business. And if someone's fucking you, like Donald Trump is fucking me, well, I guess we could all just agree that we don't make America great again. You have more green energy than any other state. Yeah, exactly. But that energy, it needs repair, it needs maintenance, and the maintenance costs have gone up tremendously. The maintenance costs have gone up because the materials that we use to maintain the infrastructure, the power grid, the green energy, all the stuff that you like, that you need, that a lot of shit comes from China. We had a tariff on them. The stuff that comes from other countries is being tariffed, and it's just getting harder to get here, blah, 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 blah.
Looming over these upcoming talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping as the president is set to travel to Beijing today. The president touted his relationship with Xi, but he also argued that this conflict has likely changed the agenda of this trip. They travel day for the president, and yes.
This conflict has changed the agenda with China. What do you know? Ain't that something? It's like we could be talking about one thing, but we're talking about this again. Damn it. We should be talking about Epstein, but we're talking about Iran again. When was the last time you heard about Epstein? Have you heard about Epstein lately? Have you heard that your president's a chomo and possibly murdered children off the sides of boats, like dumped infants off the sides of boats in Lake Michigan? That's problematic, right? That used to be just, career suicide, but these days, not that big of a deal.
You know this group that calls themselves Secret Handshake? Nobody really knows who they are, but they're the group that keeps putting up different life-size statues of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, like this one on the National Mall.
There we go,
Washington,
Epstein.
DC. You may remember they also did the big golden toilet on the National Mall. Hey, just what we needed. Well, today the folks at Secret Handshake, whoever they are, they have a new installation in the nation's capital.
Whoever they are.
Trump decided to call his war in Iran Operation Epic Fury, which is hilarious in its own right. But behold, Operation Epic Furious. Straight to hell, straight as in Strait of Hormuz. This is a real, fully functioning, old-school arcade game, a couple of them, stationed at the War Memorial in Washington, D.C. You can go see them there. They're out in public. They work. You can play them.
Yeah, Damir, there you go. I wasn't home and in the hospital for 3 weeks. Everything in the house was off or set on low. No power usage at all. My bill was the same price as two-person household that was using theirs. I'm living alone. There were 3 people living here. Now there's 1 person living here, and my electricity is still more than it was a year ago. So that tells you something. We're getting screwed, everybody. Trump is a giant failure, and it comes to the economy. He's failing by every single metric of data. We have this data is directly from the Trump administration itself, Bureau of Labor Statistics. Wake up. Completely agree. 100% agree, as they say on that show. What's that show? What's your take? What's that? Subway Takes or whatever with Kareem, whatever. 100% agree. 100% agree.
And if you're not in D.C.,
that guy made a whole YouTube career off just saying 100% agree, 100% disagree.
You can still take a crack at this thing online. Secret Handshake made an online version of this video game so you can play at home. Basic ideas in the game, you play as if you are President Trump deciding to invade Iran.
Well, I want to play.
You start the game behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office, and your options then are either to order a Diet Coke or to invade Iran. You can order as many Diet Cokes as you want. They just pile up there on the desk, one after another. Then you might see the other thing. See the fireplace in the Oval Office? If you walk up over to the fireplace, you can start setting Epstein files on fire.
Oh man, we got to play this game, right? I got to play this game on my gaming show, Dark Sky Gaming. We're going to play Operation Epic Furious.
Every time you throw one of the Epstein files into the flames, it tells you how many of them are still left to burn. So you might be there a while doing that one by one. Once you stop ordering Diet Cokes and burning Epstein files, you can then leave the White House by helicopter to go fight bad guys in Iran. Bad guys like this low-flow showerhead. If you do good fighting, you can earn oil and also Truth Social posts written on rolls of toilet paper. But if you actually want to post the Truth Social posts, you have to find the secret golden toilet inside the military base and then flush the rolls of toilet paper down the drain. But not so fast. That's not the end. The only
remember when people were saying, like people who worked with him, saying that he hates paper, so he'll like eat. If he gets a secret letter, he'll eat it or he'll rip it up and flush it down the toilet. And you're not allowed to do that as president because all the documentation, all communication with the president belongs to the American people. So we tend to keep that shit. But Donald Trump doesn't care because he's doing illegal stuff. So he tears it up and he throws in the garbage, throws in the toilet so you can't get it, eats it sometimes. The guy's got a bad diet. The guy's got a bad diet.
way to end the game is to go back to the White House and see Melania. And the first thing she says to you when you see her is, "I was never on the Epstein jet." She will then ask you if you have burned all the Epstein files. You can tell her you were working on it,
yes.
or you can ask to hold her hand. In which case, game over. I'm terrible at video games. I spent way too much time with this today. I got to tell you, at one point, J.D. Vance pops up in Iran and tells Trump that he has been taking all his cognitive tests for him, boss. And
oh, no.
And messed up the whole game and had to start over. Anyway, we will post the link on mattoblog.com if you want to try it out. Operation Epic Furious. There are live arcade games of this at the War Memorial in Washington, D.C. right now.
No way. They made...
This is from the folks at Secret Handshake.
They made... Hold on a second. They made... They made cabinets. They made arcade game cabinets. Look at this arcade game satirizing Iran war up here at the DC. Oh yes, this is beautiful. You can play it. Oh no. Epic Furious Straight to Hell. This game features furious tweet battles against Iranian schoolgirls, low-flow showerheads, and other threats to American freedom like DEI and the Pope. And just to save you time, the only way you can lose is by trying to hold Melania's hand, but it's the Middle East, so you also can't win either. Look at this. They're trying to sell coffee to me. I just need it. Oh, 20% lower on the Volcanica? Man, maybe I need to get some coffee. All right. Sean Hannity loves it. This is beautiful. I can't wait to play this. We need to play this shit. Trump Epstein friendship statue. How do I play it? Is it here? No, that wasn't it. I don't know. I gotta find a link. You can play it online, and I think it has to happen. I don't know. Somehow we've got to play Operation Epic Furious. You'd think that it'll be right here. Oh, I'm sure they got it on the Wired magazine. Unhinged new video game about Trump and the Iran war. Beautiful, beautiful. I love that they put the cabinets there. That's so great. These are all internal links. What the hell, man? Fucking. Oh, here we go. Play online. It's just epicfurious.com. Here we go. Error. Failed to initialize. What? Error? If you don't know how to fix this, take a screenshot, send it to the developer. What? Why is it not working? Damn it. It's not working for me for some reason. I got to figure this out. Failed to initialize graphics. Oh, well. We'll figure it out some other time. We'll play the game. Operation Epic Furious. It probably is crashing from all the coverage it's getting. Beautiful. Trump phones. You guys got your Trump phones? Man, I'm using a Trump phone right now to broadcast this. I always need it. You need a cup of Guatemala? My shit. Yeah, man. I need some Guatemala right now. The admin already got to it. Oh, yeah. Donald Trump's already attacking Operation. Oh, by the way, Parallelish, you can send me that AI file so that I can turn that thing into a Melania coin t-shirt. We're making Melania coins t-shirts. Parallelish has an awesome design for a t-shirt. We're going to do it, right? Parallelish, let's go. Time for an epic furious.
Not know who they are, but honestly, long may they wave.
Long may they wave. Come on.
Listen to this. Arcadia, California Mayor Eileen Wang agreeing to plead guilty after being charged with acting as an...
I love how they say a California mayor. Who the fuck? Why would you ever say... She's a California mayor, Eileen Wang. California mayor? Do you know how many towns we have in California? She's a California mayor. Okay, so she's acting in the United States as an illegal agent of a foreign government. So this happens a lot. People forget to say that they're working with foreign governments, and then they get called foreign agents without disclosure. It's happened to a lot of people in Donald Trump's administration. It's a whole thing. Maybe she's guilty of spying from China.
Agent for the Chinese government. DOJ says from 2020 through 2022, Eileen and her
Arcadia
fiancé ran a website called U.S. News Center that branded itself as a news source for Chinese Americans. Wang resigning after the charge, quote, "The decision is personal in nature and does not reflect my love and commitment to Arcadia, which will always remain strong. But when confronted by our affiliate to give her residents an answer, Eileen refused."
She refused because she was too busy playing arcade games of Donald Trump burning Epstein files in Arcadia. Hit that like and subscribe, but California is the enemy. California, she was a foreign spy for California. So it's the enemy. Be careful. California's so scary. I know. Why are they always afraid of California? Why are you guys... I know there's a lot of people watching from across the country. Why are you so scared? Why are you so scared of California? Why are you so scared? Don't you worry, little baby doll. Nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be scared of. Don't be so scared. California is the place you ought to be, to pile up the truck and move to Beverly. It's fine out here. It's nice. It's beautiful. I love California. I can't live here anymore because it's too expensive. I got new adventures to go on. But I love it here, man. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. Don't be scared, okay?
Excuse me, Miss Wong. Can we speak with you about these allegations? Anything you want to say to constituents?
Political strategist, lawyer, and someone who lived in China for years, Katie Zachariah joins me now.
Katie, oh no, Katie, are you Are you a spy?
Said it should, quote, terrify Americans that she was able to rise to the highest levels of
Katie, where's your cross?
local office. Okay.
How come all these Fox News people aren't wearing their crosses lately? What's going on? Are you guys abandoning the whole Jesus thing? I feel like you might be. I think you guys are abandoning it because you're all about to wear hijabs. I think that's what's about to happen. All these Fox News, since Melania's going to wear the hijab, and Kristi Noem's in the hijab. Everyone's wearing a hijab now. Erica Kirk's wearing a hijab. The cross, man, it was all just a costume. They're taking it off. They're not wearing it anymore. You notice that?
How the heck did that happen?
Is that weird to anybody else that none of these Fox News girls are wearing crosses anymore?
Well, if you go out to Arcadia, which I visited a number of times, it's basically become Little China. And I don't mean the cute San Francisco Chinatown that we all were familiar with. This actually feels...
Cute San Francisco Chinatown. I mean, that's pretty offensive. It's not a cute little San Francisco. It's like a thriving community. Whatever.
Like a version of Beijing. And what do I mean by that? They don't speak English. They eat completely like local Chinese food that they source right from China. And honestly, you'd be hard pressed to find any English speaking people in the whole vicinity of the San Gabriel Valley, which has essentially been taken over by the Chinese. And I don't actually mean that.
The San Gabriel Valley's been taken over by the Chinese? Oh no, oh no, oh no. The San Gabriel Valley, guys, it's not like the cute San Francisco Chinatown. It's all Chinese now. That's we got to worry about them now.
Todd. I mean that because I've lived in China. I go to Arcadia to get local Chinese food and maybe refresh my Mandarin, but it doesn't feel like the United States. So it's no surprise.
Jesus Christ, lady. I go there to use them, but it's not the United States anymore. San Gabriel Valley is no longer the United States, and I hate China. Like, this lady hates Chinese people. And the Chinese girl's the one with she's the one with the cross around her neck.
To me that we had someone who was acting on behalf of Beijing as a foreign agent running Arcadia because the place feels like China.
You lived in China, you know how the CCP operates. Katie, is this just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Americans being tricked into allowing, quite frankly, for lack of
She lived in China for like a week.
a better phrase, Chinese spies to infiltrate our government at the local, state, and federal level?
Yes, Todd, and with these sanctuary jurisdictions.
I like this projection all the time. It's always that way, right? Donald Trump is clearly working for a foreign adversary like, I don't know, Vladimir Putin for life. But, you know, it's kind of embarrassing to be like, oh, the Chinese are infiltrating our government. The Chinese are infiltrating our government? Where? There's not one Chinese person in the administration. There's not one Chinese person are there any Chinese governors? Let me look it up real fast. Are there any Chinese governors in the United States? Gary Locke is the only Chinese descendant. He's the governor of Washington in 2005. In 2026, there are no Chinese Americans currently serving as governors of the United States. 0 Chinese Americans working as governors of the United States, and Fox News is telling me that they're infiltrating all the way up to the top.
Similar to California, there needs to be a wholesale review of not just legal permanent residents, but people who are here from adversarial countries. We just had, for instance, an Iranian arms dealer living just down the road from me, whose green card needs to be reevaluated by USCIS under the Department of Homeland Security. There has to be a complete takedown of these green card holders, and they need to be sent back home. This woman, Eileen Wong, she's only getting
a takedown of the green card holders. See, this is how it starts, ladies and gentlemen. This is how they do it in. This is how it's been done in the past, right? You're not those Jewish people are not real Germans. They've been here for 50 years. Their family's been here for a long time. Yeah, but they're not real Germans. We can't allow them to have pets or driver's licenses. That's how it started. You realize that when Germany started this type of shit, that's how it starts. Green card holders are legally here, and this lady's calling for, we need to reevaluate all of them and send them home. Green card holders? Really?
10 years. That's actually kind of offensive as a United States citizen. This person was acting as a foreign agent on behalf of the CCP, Todd. There should be no grace. They literally should be sent back to the People's Republic of China.
So concerning. And you have to think, if this is happening in one town in California, it could be happening in others, because I hate to bring up Mr. Swalwell.
Yeah, it's happening in other places too, because it happened one time. It doesn't mean that she's an actual Chinese agent, by the way. It just means that she was working for the Chinese government and didn't disclose it before taking office. It's not like It's like she's some super. She ain't James Bond or James Wong. I don't know. She ain't a Chinese spy.
Oh, because he's no longer in the California governor's race, but the leader on the Democratic side was tied to a Chinese spy, and I think that tells you everything you need to know. From one coast to the other, happening today, the House back in session for the first time since the Virginia Supreme Court struck down that state's redistricting attempt. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries writing the following in a letter yesterday. Quote, Republican extremists spent the last few days applauding their ongoing effort to rig the midterm elections based on 2 egregious judicial decisions dripping with far-right partisanship. We remain undeterred. Our effort to forcefully push back against the Republican redistricting scheme will not slow down. Katie, he says we're just getting started. But what exactly are they getting started on, Katie? Because when a Supreme Court...
Why is this lady's eyes, man? This lady's like one of the most hateful women I've ever seen on television.
Rules, that's typically it.
Like, she's definitely killed a person. She's definitely a murderer. I mean, I'm not saying she is, but she definitely is, right?
Well, and look, Hakeem Jeffries, he's so out of bounds here. This was a Democrat's desire to redistrict, right? The radical weaponization of the redistricting scam. And the Supreme Court struck it down on procedural errors in Virginia. And basically, the Democrats thought that they could do what they did in California and just squeeze through this redistricting map, except they got it through after early voting had already started. So if he cares about rule of law and procedure and actually the Virginia
Wait a second. You care about rule of law now? Weren't you the one saying we need to get rid of all these green card holders? I thought you were saying you don't care about. Well, now you care about the rule of law. These hypocrites. My God. You know what? Have you ever had a woman in your life like this? This woman who is just like, da, 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 da. Like she's so fucking aggressive. Like, I hate men like this too. Men and women who talk like this. They're just so fucking aggressive all the time. You're like, dude, could you chill the fuck out? God damn. There's no reason to be this uptight. Jesus Christ. Oh, Johnny Ringo, you always so high-strung.
Then he will be well informed.
She's so high-strung.
That they were out of bounds to even propose.
God damn it, your little hummingbird heart's got to be like, she's got to be beating. Like, you've got to be, God, you got to lower that blood pressure. Jesus.
Was this in the first place in Virginia, Todd?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to continue
Stephen Miller.
on the table as much as possible.
Yes, Stephen, and then the fake smile. Look how she's smiling. She talks like Stephen Miller. You're totally right. What accent is that? What accent is that? It's fascist. The accent is just the fascist accent.
They split a whole city into 3 to make black voters have less power.
It's in the Constitution. Get over it.
Ferguson, 1896. Because you're being utterly disrespectful.
Not at all.
Every voter in America, white, black, or otherwise, can go cast a ballot right now.
A battle over redistricting that is playing out at the Supreme Court as Republicans and Democrats.
I like, that Mr. Wonderful guy, he needs to die, right? Someone's got to get rid of him, right? I mean, that guy's just so annoying. Like, that guy, he's building this data center, even though they didn't want him to, over in Utah, I think. And, man, he's just doing bad shit. This guy's doing bad stuff.
To try to gain an edge in November's midterm elections. Today, the court's conservative majority cleared the way for Alabama to use a new congressional map that would eliminate a district currently held by a black Democrat. The Supreme Court offered no explanation in its order, which tosses out a lower court decision that blocked the use of that 2023 map. There's already voting underway in that state. They are planning to toss out that map, go with a new map that favors Republicans, eliminates a black district. And then you have the President Trump, sending a message to South Carolina, your home state, Bakari, saying the South Carolina State Senate has a big vote tomorrow on redistricting. He says, Republicans, be bold and courageous, just like the Republicans of the great state of Tennessee were last week. Move the U.S. House primaries to August. Leave the rest on the same schedule. Everything will be fine. Get it done. So
I want to take a step back and look at this from a 50,000-foot view. To be completely honest, I think Ashley and I have to wrestle with the fact that we are going to be the first generation to actually leave this country worse than the one that we inherited. There is a casual laughter from people we believe to be our friends on the right who are showing us true colors today because the most sacred or one of the most...
Did you not know? Everyone knows that the ultra right wing, they're just Nazis, right? They're calling themselves the alt-right now, but it's just... They're just fascists. It's just they like neo-Nazis. They changed their name from neo-Nazi to alt-right. That's all it was. It's just a rebranding. And people are like, I can't believe this is happening. Oh, they're really showing their true colors now. Man, they've been showing their true colors since 1945, bro. Since earlier than that. Since 1935, they've been showing their true colors. And you're like, well, I'm realizing that some of these people on the far right, they're just not our friends. They're just casually laughing at our downfall.
Sacred acts you have in the United States of America is the ability to cast a ballot and elect someone and send them to Congress, the State House, or a mayoral seat that represents your interest. And now black folks throughout the South are being silenced. And I don't find that to be a laughing matter.
I heard you say that people are losing representation. People are losing their voice. No voter has lost their voice at all. No one's been.
Yeah, Kevin O'Leary. He's building in Utah, right? I was right about it. It was Utah. That's going to destroy the environment, drive prices up for locals. People protested. The government still. The government didn't just fast track it. They literally shut down the public hearing and then went into a back room and voted on it away from the people because there were so many people in that town protesting it in City Hall or county supervisor place, whatever they called it. Wild, man.
Disenfranchised. Every voter in America before these court rulings could go cast a ballot this November, and every voter in America, white, black, or otherwise, can go cast a ballot right now. The lines may be changing, but every voter still has the same amount of voting power, one vote, that they had. It's just that this Supreme Court said your race doesn't necessarily have to dictate your political identity. The fact that you're an American citizen and your franchise gives you one vote, that is your political identity. And it is incumbent upon both parties, Republicans and Democrats, to run people who speak not to just one constituency, but all American interests. To me,
this guy Scott Jennings so full of shit. They're drawing the districts based on racial identity. Because traditionally, people of certain racial identities have been split up. Now the whites are like, well, you're splitting the whites up. And it's like, well, that doesn't make sense since most of y'all are white. But whatever. It's a whole thing. The whites are saying that they're a victim now. And the Supreme Court agrees. That doesn't mean that they're Democrats if they're black. It's just that 80% of them are. Now, if you wanted to change that, then you could, talk to the blacks. That'd be nice. Go and try to campaign. But instead, they want to make sure that blacks their voices don't matter by splitting them up. Because if you have, 100 black people and you've got 1,000 white people, each 1,000 you could take 20 black people here, 20 black people, 20 black people amongst the 1,000 and split those districts up. And then now those 100 black people, since they can't vote as a block, their votes don't matter anymore in the larger districts. In the split districts. That's how that works. They have successfully disenfranchised a huge voter block because they're afraid that black people will vote Democrat, which is, pretty messed up. Pretty messed up. Cheating is not right. What's cheating? What's cheating now? Gerrymandering?
That's how the November election should be run.
Please.
I might agree with you if they hadn't said something different 3 years ago. We aren't talking about in Alabama a district that existed when my grandmother was alive. We're talking about a district that was drawn in 2023 because there are injustices that are still being placed. We're talking about Memphis, where it's not just one person across the street. They split a whole city into 3 to make black voters have less power in House
that's
maps.
how it works.
The Voting Rights Act, which actually was the last time it actually was reauthorized, was under your boss, George W. Bush. It used to be a bipartisan thing. It used to be clear that the backdrop of this country, there is discrimination now. There was pervasive discrimination when the law was signed into law during the Civil Rights Movement. We can all go into our partisan corners, but to act like what is happening right now is not a direct attack on black voters' power, black voters' ability to represent themselves. Now, we had this conversation yesterday, Scott. Black voters are allowed to elect whoever they want. And in 2024, they did. They elected a black Democrat in that new district in Alabama. That black Democrat went through a primary of 13.
Open border spelled incorrectly. Letting people vote without ID is cheating, sir. Dude, are you fucking... It's so amazing. Dude, just Google, how many people did that. Or if it ever happened. It's never happened. First of all, the border has never been opened. And it should be open. But it's never been open. That's a myth that Donald Trump has fed you. I crossed the border during the Biden years, and let me tell you, it wasn't open. It was not open. I crossed the border a couple times during the Biden years, and it was never open because I live close to TJ, and not open. What else was I going to tell you? What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Voting in our elections? What are you even trying to say? That people are crossing the border to vote? And you think that most Americans don't even vote? You think people are crossing the border, voting, and then going back home? What are you thinking is happening here? God damn.
People and black voters found the agency to come and decide how that primary now will be erased. And put a black Republican up in that district if you want black voters to have a choice. But they're not. That's not what's happening. It is a dissemination, a distribution of black power. And to call it anything other than that, I just think is being historically ignoring the past of our country and pretending like we're not trying to drive our country to a different type
Ellie,
of
one of the interesting things about Tennessee that we should also keep in mind is
Tennessee.
that Tennessee district that they did away with existed prior to the Voting Rights Act. So Memphis, as a city, has been a district even before they were trying to rectify racial discrimination with the Voting Rights Act. So, we're going to start to see maybe Virginia might try again and create that. Maybe they might try to create an 11-0 map, because now, according to the Supreme Court, you can. We might live in a country where all around the country we have states where the minority political party has effectively zero representation in Congress.
I think everybody should take confidence in the fact Supreme Court basically supported one vote.
This guy, Utah national security, man, I can't wait for this guy to die. I can't wait for Kevin O'Leary to die. These billionaires, I mean, you know me, I want all the billionaires to die, but this guy, man, I'm sorry. Kevin O'Leary comes on my show wearing a hat like this. I'm gonna like take that fucking hat off. Who the fuck do you think you are wearing that stupid hat? What are you doing, man? You bald piece of shit. Take your fucking hat off, you piece of garbage. Man, this horrible waste of flesh. Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful. This guy ruined Marty Supreme, am I right? You guys seen Marty Supreme? He sucks. Piece of shit. Oh, he just plays himself. Plays a piece of shit, predatory billionaire garbage.
Guaranteed in perpetuity. And the rest is just map wars. And I think we should get used to it. And I think it's, as you said, a state-based situation.
Kevin O'Leary is Canadian? Oh, God, really? Where was Kevin O'Leary born? Montreal? He's a French-speaking Canadian, too. Oh, no. No. God, Kevin O'Leary. Why is this Canadian allowed to have billions of dollars and even give us his opinion about Donald Trump, Kevin O'Leary? Is Kevin O'Leary even is Kevin O'Leary an American citizen? Not a U.S. citizen. He is a Canadian citizen who holds Irish and Emirati citizen. He's a citizen of the United Arab Emirates? Kevin O'Leary is a citizen of the United Arab Emirates. While he lives and works in the United States, he does so as a foreign national, likely using a green card for permanent residency rather than U.S. citizenship. The guy is a green card holder who supports Fox News assholes saying that we need to get rid of all of the green card holders because he knows full well that his rich ass ain't getting deported. This piece of shit, Kevin O'Leary, needs to be taken out into the street and pilloried, tarred and feathered, and then sent back to Canada. Send him to United Arab Emirates. He should be living in United Arab Emirates. Why is this piece of garbage allowed to live in America? You know what? You don't like immigrants? Fine. Start with Kevin O'Leary. Get him out of here. 86 Kevin. Come on, man. This is ridiculous. He's fucking, national security, Utah. This guy is a walking national security problem. The fact that CNN has him on is an embarrassing. Why does CNN have Kevin O'Leary on the goddamn show? He's not even American. Why is he allowed to even have an opinion? Get him out. Why? Wait a second. I thought green card holders don't have freedom of speech. All of a sudden, people keep telling me, they're green card holders. They ain't got the First Amendment. All right, start with Kevin O'Leary. Get him out. Wood chipper. This piece of shit. Ruining the environment. He's destroying Utah. He's got a hat on that says Utah. What's his stupid hat say? Utah National Security. He's a citizen of United Arab Emirates. That should tell you a lot. This guy's a fucking foreign asset. This guy's a foreign spy. Kevin O'Leary, billionaire. We should nationalize, take his money, and then boot him out. Why is he allowed to have anything in this country? He shouldn't be allowed to own property. He shouldn't be allowed to hold dollar bills.
Add this to the mix. At the end of the day, the state decides at the state level. It's in the Constitution. Get over it.
So the problem with that sentiment is that you were born in 1954.
It's in the Constitution. Get over it. You're not even a citizen. You have no skin in this game, Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary wants to remind us what's in the Constitution. What's in the Canadian Constitution, garbage human? United Arab Emirate National, Emirati. He is an Emirati. He ain't American. Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah.
Okay, you're 71.
Yeah.
Right? In 1954,
By the way, I'm a vampire.
during your lifetime, we've actually had Brown v. Board of Education.
I remember.
Yeah, Brown v. Board of Education. I don't know how you remember it. I think you were like 2 months old. But
I remember it. Brown versus Board of He doesn't remember Brown versus Board of Education. You know why? Because this piece of shit is not American. Most Americans don't know about Brown versus Topeka Board of Education. I've actually been to where it happened. Topeka.
But I'm not finished. Let me finish.
Drill back to 54.
Yeah, because you're still alive, right? And so there's an entire generation of people. Brown v. Board, it overturned Plessy v. Ferguson in 1896. My point is that my mother was born in 1951. She desegregated schools. My father was shot in the Civil Rights Movement. Those people. I'm going to finish because you're being utterly disrespectful.
Not at all.
And oh my God, I want this guy in the street, in the fucking street, Kevin O'Leary in the street being pelted with Legos. Let's just pelt him with Legos. Cover him in oil first because he's from United Arab Emirates. You know he likes oil. Cover him in oil and then cover him in Legos.
I'm going to finish this comment. So what I'm telling you is that there are people in this country who fought, died, and bled for the right to vote. Don't be a dick. Just understand.
Okay.
Just understand.
I'm pointing something out. The Constitution is being upheld. You have a problem with that?
Just
Understand. I'm going to stop
You have a problem with the United States of America. You have a problem with the Constitution of the United States. This is fucking peak late stage capitalism. This billionaire piece of shit, Kevin O'Leary, tells a black man whose mother desegregated the South. He has the nerve to say, "What, you got a problem with the United States of American Constitution?" You're not American, Kevin O'Leary. You're an Emirati, Canadian, Irish person because you got 3 passports. You got 3 passports and not a one of them is an American passport, Kevin O'Leary. But you got $1 billion, so you could get on TV and tell an American black man that he doesn't respect the Constitution. Holy shit, bro. What an embarrassing thing we have. That's your MAGA. That's MAGA for you right there. That is perfect MAGA.
Because I just want everybody to reset with a modicum of respect at this table. Please stop.
I want you to understand that there's a price. There's a price that was paid for this right.
I love that this show now has just become her being like, could we just respect each other, guys? Fuck you, you liberal. We're at a war right now. We're in the middle of a civil war. We're in a class war. And this foreign asset is trying to tell me that a black man doesn't know the Constitution.
There's a price that we uphold. And whether or not you value that, whether or not you value that or not, there are people who bled, sweat, and died and were in prison for access to the ballot box. And what we're seeing throughout the South is that their voice, their vote, their representation, and people who have lived experiences to represent them are not being sent to Congress or where they need to go.
This debate, by the way, is happening among the justices. If you look at the Louisiana decision, the conservatives are saying, we've made great progress. It's time to let go of this, of using racial discrimination.
And that's why I utilize the description of...
And the liberal justices say exactly what you just said, which is there's a history here that we're overlooking.
But Ellie, I mean, the 3 years have passed since 2023 and 2026.
Exactly.
It's not that long.
All of a sudden, the country has made that much progress.
All right, Cap, what state do you live in there, buddy boy? You think you know so much. Are you an Emirati citizen too? Are you from the Emirates? Because you're talking like you're from the United Arab Emirates, Cap for life. We know you're capping for life because you're a lying piece of shit. You want to know what place is falling apart? Go to Mississippi. I've been to almost all 50 states, and let me tell you, there's a lot of places falling apart. But then drive in Mississippi and then come to California and drive on the roads and tell me which place is falling apart. Perfect example right there. Got an off-road vehicle in Mississippi. Man, can we just suck off the rich peacefully? Exactly. Can we just suck them off? Can we just suck off this rich Canadian, United Arab Emirati, and Irishman? Oh, it's all the same person? Well, let's suck them off in peace. Can we, please?
That's the criticism of the majority. Look, there's a famous quote by Ruth Bader Ginsburg, right? When the Voting Rights Act came up.
Who should have retired?
When the Voting Rights Act came up, when she was on the bench, she said, the conservatives said, well, we've made great progress, so we don't need this anymore. She said, I'm paraphrasing, but she said, that's like getting rid of your umbrella in a rainstorm because you're not getting wet. Yes. And the question is it still raining? Is it drizzling? Is it clear? People differ strongly on that.
And guess what? It can be clear one day and rain the next. And so that's the inconsistency. I just want to point out the one person, one vote. I think, Bakari, us millennials will have to rest.
You know who's not going to vote at this table? Kevin O'Leary. He's not allowed to vote. So what the fuck is he even doing there?
How we're going to leave this earth.
What are we going to do? Have Piers Morgan on next? Does Piers Morgan have an Emirati passport as well? Let's find out. How many passports does Piers Morgan have? He primarily holds a British passport, while he has often described himself as Irish by blood and claimed to be in the process of obtaining an Irish passport due to his ancestry. It's not confirmed that he currently holds one. He is not a U.S. citizen. Good. Piers Morgan. He could die too. Anytime. Anytime, Piers. Anytime.
And I'm determined to leave it better than
This guy's 71 years old. Kevin O'Leary, 71 years old, never worked an honest day in his life. Fucking United Arab Emirate. Emirati. God damn it.
Found it. And I think that this decision is actually going to open a rush to reevaluate a lot of things that you say are in the Constitution. Because right now you have a hat on that says Utah, and they have more representation in the Senate than the people actually in Alabama have.
I got a situation in Utah going on.
I know that's not why you have the hat on.
No, I have
but
it on.
You have it on, and so there are states right now that have
supporting
2
the people of
senators.
Utah.
When we're sitting in a state right now that has more.
I love it. People are so dumb. Like, California's falling apart because of socialist liberal agenda. Are you stupid or something? California has more manufacturing jobs than any place in America, more than most places on planet Earth. California has more agriculture than any place in America, and more than most places on Earth. California has more shipping, import-export than any place in the world. And you're trying to tell me that it's falling apart from a socialist? What do you think its socialist liberal agenda is, you stupid piece of garbage? What are you talking about? There is no socialist liberal agenda in California. It's run by capitalists like everywhere else in America. It's the home of Reagan and Nixon. Are you going to tell me Nixon and Reagan were socialist communist liberals? Is that what you're going to say? Are you stupid or something? You stupid or something? What about Arnold Schwarzenegger? He has socialist liberal agenda, another Republican. What about Pete Wilson? Like, just in my lifetime, we've had half of the governors have been Republicans. You're like, California's socialist. You're just so stupid. You're just so stupid. It's painful. This year, under Gavin Newsom, by the way, a person I hate, it became the 4th richest country in the world again. The 4th biggest GDP is California. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 4. It's always neck and neck. But this year it's 4th richest country in the world. And your idiot brain says, California's falling apart because it's socialist and liberal. Wasn't a Republican for 60 years. Reagan. I mean, I love it though. People try to tell me that Reagan, the home of Reagan and Nixon, yeah, and Pete Wilson, super Republican, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, super Republican. Do you remember when all the Republicans thought that they wanted to change the Constitution so Arnold Schwarzenegger could be president? Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Breaking news, the terrifying shooting just outside Boston, a gunman opening fire on the street in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The images coming in. The gunshots echoing on the street there. The suspect armed with a semi-automatic rifle appearing to shoot at random. Police racing to the scene. Drivers ducking for cover, hiding under seats. People frantically running for their lives. At this hour, we've learned at least one person was shot, and Matt Rivers leads us off.
Damn, Boston.
Tonight, video circulating online shows a terrifying scene outside Boston.
Shooting randomly in the air, spraying cars, spraying everywhere, and people just started running.
A shooter in broad daylight brandishing a semi-automatic rifle.
How do you explain L.A.? How do I explain one of the largest cities on planet Earth being a big, dirty metropolis? It's like the definition of metropolis. Have you been there? Have you been to L.A.? I was in L.A. a couple weeks ago, and it's still gorgeous. I was in Beverly Hills. I drove through parts of the ghetto. I drove through, down through Hollywood, Melrose. I mean, it's beautiful. It's great. LA is still great, everybody. Hate to tell you, it's a massive, massive, massive city. Bigger than most countries. The greater metropolitan area. Let's find out how many people live in the greater metropolitan area of Los Angeles, California. 13 million people. Let's see. Shall we take what did you tell me what state you live in? Let's find out what state. Let's just ask it. If Los Angeles has 13 million people living there, how many states is that bigger than population-wise? Los Angeles has more people than 43 different states. It is smaller than only the top 7 or 8 most populous states, such as Texas, Florida, and New York. But It has around 13 million people. It's larger than states like Washington, Arizona, Colorado, and Minnesota. And many states combined do not equal the amount of people living in Los Angeles. And you're like, how do you explain Los Angeles? You know what? Try to explain Los Angeles to anybody who has never been to Los Angeles. It is a massive city. It's half the size of Mexico City. And it's not even a capital city. It's just a mega metropolis, crazy thing that humanity built. And there's good parts and there's bad parts. And there's awesome parts and really parts that you wish you never saw. It's a massive thing. You know New York? You ever heard of that place? There's some dirty spots, some gross spots, some mean spots, some spots you might die. And there's also places that you can eat caviar out of a virgin's asshole. It's crazy. It's fucking insane. The American idea of a city has redefined the term metropolis. The word metropolis didn't have a meaning until places like LA and New York City existed. And of course, Mexico City. But places like Berlin's a big city, right? Berlin's a big city. How many people live in Berlin? 4 million. less than a quarter of the size. What is that? That is a quarter of the size. Or a third of the size. Explain Los Angeles. Like, this is how painful it is talking to stupid maggers all the time. Los Angeles is a cesspool. I saw that there on the TV. A ding dang do. Yeah, some parts of it are really bad. It's a town with fucking almost 14 million people. 14 million people.
At one point, erratically pointing it at traffic, smashing a car window with the gun barrel, sending residents running for their lives.
We were getting reports of gunshots fired at 808 Memorial Drive.
It happened just after 1:30
Look at Boston. Oh, this must be from the liberals. That's the liberals that did this.
this afternoon on Memorial Drive in the busy Boston suburb of Cambridge. Lisa Schill was in a school van on her way to pick up kids after classes.
We saw the guy walking down the street and raising like the gun, and he was shooting.
How many shots do you think you heard?
At least 15 or more.
Was it like rapid fire, like a...
Rapid. Like pow, 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 like that.
2 males in vehicles separately were struck by gunfire.
Damn.
The individual who was traveling along with that weapon, who fired those shots, an individual named Tyler Brown. Mr. Brown is in custody at the hospital.
David, still very much an active scene tonight in Cambridge. Residents being asked to avoid the area, but authorities say there is no active threat to the community. David?
The image is coming in from Cambridge, Massachusetts tonight. Matt, thank you all.
With that, we bring in Lee Zeldin, the EPA administrator. Lee, David Marcus called it the single most expensive lie in human history. How expensive was this?
Yeah, California, look, Jeremy, California is in the 80s, big Republican ministry. In the 90s, too. Turning to white nationalism and trying to pass laws that supported led to it becoming blue. 80s and 90s, you had Republicans running California, but it's always been a diverse state. Look, man, we got lots of cow country. We got lots of big cities. It's just always been diverse. Famously, the hardcore Republican Clint Eastwood was a mayor of one of our towns, Carmel by the Sea. Like, it's just always been very diverse here. California is probably the most diverse place in America. So you're going to have a diversity of opinion, a diversity of political perspective, just diverse in every way you can think of. It's orientation, gender identity, all that stuff. It's all very diverse place. It always has been because everyone in the world wants to come here. Yeah, and you're right. Republican administration turning white national, but also a lot of the California governors have been like super pro-war and have done some real fascist shit. Like Ronald Reagan was just straight up fascist. So it's very difficult to imagine someone worse than him. The way they cracked down on protests in the past. There's also the way the state troopers or our CHP have been used in the past to carry out weird government stuff. It's a lot to get into with the history of California, but let me just say it's just diverse. Yeah. I sometimes forget, so like the reminder. Nice. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.
Yeah, over the course.
California's more, Florida's more nice. I spent a lot of time in Florida. It's great. I love Florida. It's a little hot. A lot of hurricanes and stuff. I'll take earthquakes over hurricanes 9 out of 9 times.
Of decades, we have been told everything from the most pessimistic possible prediction to the absolutely impossible. And when you get to 2026, a lot of Americans are thinking about all those pessimistic predictions of the past and realizing that the sea level hasn't risen as much as you guaranteed it would. The temperature of the Earth hasn't risen as much as you would. And when you're still 4.5 years away from AOC's prediction that the world is about to end in 12 years, people are saying, you know what, I don't have to wait any longer. I know. And they're also getting pretty pissed off, as you pointed out, becoming aware of the grift, the green slush funds, the money that was used to pay off former Biden and Obama officials and Democratic donors, the tens of billions of dollars that, for example, went through EPA through self-dealing and conflicts of interest and reduced agency oversight. People are getting smart on it, and they care about these economic concerns. They want
reduced agency oversight. Because there's been grift, that must mean that climate chaos doesn't exist. Because the water levels didn't go up as much, because we have been trying to do stuff about it. It must mean that it doesn't exist. Of course, climate chaos and climate change does exist. You can feel it. If you're as old as I am, you know what it's like. You can notice that, hey, when you drive through the South, there's not so many lightning bugs this summer. How come now when I drive through America, my windshield isn't covered in insect juice? How come? What happened to all the insects? What happened to all of them? Where'd they all go? How come I don't hear frogs croaking in the summers anymore? What happened? It's so weird. All these animals are dying. Why is it so fucking hot in the summer? So much hotter than it used to be. Why is it that I keep on getting 100-degree days? Like more and more every year. Don't worry about it. Shut up. It's not real.
sense applied, and now they're being heard at the voting booth. And I think the Trump mandate was to put a stop to it, and that's what we're doing at the Trump EPA.
Yeah, unwinding some of these onerous regulations. But amazingly, despite all this money Democrats poured in, climate change remained a 1%, 2% issue. And it just feels like there's no accountability. You know, that the beaches are here. The New York Times was wrong. Rush Limbaugh tried his best with the doomsday countdown clock based on Al Gore's prediction that was wrong. But there's no accountability. It's just nothing to see here. Your dollar's out the window. What are you seeing?
Well, the good news is that President Trump came in time to be able to stop what, in the EPA, from the EPA standpoint, was almost $30 billion worth of grants that didn't go out the door. That Uncle Sam was able to catch in time.
How great! Uncle Sam's on the case, guys. The EPA doesn't matter. You don't need it. And the only thing wasting our money is climate. That's the problem. We're wasting all this money trying to save the planet, when meanwhile we need $200 billion more to kill children in Iran, folks. Like, can we prioritize here? You want to spend another $2 billion trying to save the fucking planet? Are you stupid? We need to bomb more children in Iran, and it's going to cost $200 billion more. So shut up and give me the money.
Right now, 16 Americans are being monitored in Nebraska after they were evacuated from that cruise ship hit by the hantavirus. At least one has tested positive for the virus, while 2 others are under observation in Georgia, with Maryland health officials also confirming they are monitoring 2 residents over potential exposure to the virus. President Trump now reassuring Americans they are...
Nebraska, you might be ground zero for the next pandemic. Listen, everybody, I really hope that we shut down. I'm going to do it right this time. I need a do-over. I'm sorry to everyone who's going to die and everyone who's locked up and doesn't want to be in the shutdown, but I got screwed the last shutdown. I knew a bunch of people who died. I didn't get to have the baked goods. I didn't get to do sourdough starters. I didn't get to watch Tiger King. I had to work, and I'm not going to work in public. I'm not going to do. I'll still make YouTube channel stuff, but I'm not going to go work for some asshole in the next shutdown, okay, folks? I'm not going to do it. So please, when the next shutdown happens, please cheer it on, whoever the president is, and he goes, I want to shut down the whole country again. Great. Let's do it. I want to make sourdough. I want to make sourdough bread, folks. I want to play video games. I want a do-over. Do-over sounds good, right, Navia? I want a do-over. I need a break. The gas prices will go down. I'm not going to watch Tiger King probably because it kind of grosses me out. But I'm going to probably watch some show. Remember, we got some good TV out of it. Remember, White Lotus came out because they were like, hey, all these resorts are closed. Let's film a TV show on a resort. And they made White Lotus, and it was so good. Let's do it again. Let's do it again, man. We got good TV out of it. Tiger King, I heard it was great. And then you got that one with Anya Taylor-Joy playing the chess girl. What was he? Like super chess, I think it was called. Super chess girl. Doesn't have to study. She's just good at chess miraculously. Super chess girl, I think it was called. What a stupid superpower to have, if you think about it. I could do drugs and play chess. Like, that's a bad superpower, man. You're like on the bottom of the X-Men. You're not Like, it's the most boring X-Men power if you think about it. Yeah, Super Chess Girl, that's what it was called, I think.
Are not at risk.
All I can do is everything that a president can do, which is actually somewhat limited. But it seems like it is not easy to spread. In fact, it's in certain ways very hard to spread.
It's very hard to spread in certain ways, and it's going to go away. It's going to go away in the summer, okay? It's just going to go away in the summer. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Do you remember this? Remember this hand when he said, it's going to be April and COVID's just going to go away. It's a miracle. The weather goes up and the COVID goes down. Remember that? He's doing the same thing about Hanta. We're here again, baby. Let's do it, man. I want a do-over.
It's been, we've lived with it for years, many years, and we think we're in very good shape. We're very careful. And Nebraska has done a fantastic job. They have a...
Great job, Nebraska. How you feel, Mr. Oz? Dude, Dr. Oz is right there. Get this guy. Hey, doctor, you wanna do it? Mohammed, you wanna do it? Mohammed? Dr. Mohammed Oz wants to talk, guys. You can talk about it all.
A place there that those doctors are unbelievable.
And our next guest is on the ground in Nebraska, ensuring medical professionals have the resources they need to monitor these passengers. Joining us now, the Nebraska Director of Public Health, Ashley Newmeyer. Ashley, you have a big job always, but especially right now, given the gravity of what is taking place in Nebraska. So 16 passengers at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. Give us an update on how they're doing.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. Last update I had received was that they were all symptomatic. They had settled into the facilities. They have been through an unimaginable experience here with their travel. But as of our last update, everyone was doing well. We are happy. We are welcoming them into Nebraska. We understood.
Oh, Hanta doesn't spread as easy as COVID. So you think this is normal Hanta? Man, this has got to be the super Hanta. You know, it's got to be the super Hanta. Came out of a lab, man. Came out of a lab. This is super Hanta. Shanta. I think they're going to call it Shanta. It's even got a better name than COVID, right? Or Corona. Man, remember when people were like mad at Corona? They didn't want to buy Corona beers because they didn't want to drink Corona. Fucking idiots, my God. Hanta doesn't spread as easily as COVID. For now, man, you got to think a few steps ahead. When someone sneezes on you and you're like, oop, got Hanta now. Got that rat poop virus, bro.
From the very beginning, when we got the call from our federal partners that we were here to help, we have the capability, we have the resources, we have the best team to do this work, and we are here to step up for our fellow Americans and make sure that they safely return home.
Yeah, and just clarifying, all the passengers you say are asymptomatic?
Correct.
Okay. So there was a major coordinated, and this was a major coordinated effort to get these people off the boat, onto planes, and into Nebraska for a quarantine. How confident should we all be that right now everything is going according to plan and that this virus will be contained?
Mm-hmm. Well, what I will say is that I am satisfied, and the American people can be satisfied, that we have a very strong plan in place here to make sure that no one leaves.
Are you getting jabbed up and masked up? I'm talking to you. Wait a second. Donald Trump was the one that developed the COVID vaccine, the Operation Warp Speed. What are you talking about, Democrat? That was a Republican thing, weirdo. MAGA was the one all behind Donald Trump, we're going to get a viral thing. We're going to get this mRNA vaccine. It's going to work. Yeah, woohoo, Operation Warp Speed. What are you talking about, Democrats? Democrats didn't do that. That was Republicans. Wake up. Wake up. I'm probably not going to get a hantavirus vaccine, though. I wash my hands. Make sure you wash your hands, everybody. Actually, don't wash your hands because I want a do-over. I want a shutdown. I think the largest aux you can upload. They call us the left because when you take away the fascist billionaires, corporate sycophants, and willfully ignorant racists and bigots, we're what's left. Yeah, that might be it. The alt-left, like the extreme left, like me, I mean, we want capitalism to go away, and we're the only ones saying something different. Everyone to the left, everyone to the right of me is like pro-capitalism. Y'all a bunch of suckers. But Democrats are the good guys. Mulligan. I need a mulligan, Navia. Yes, I need a mulligan so bad, man. I need a mulligan so bad. And I'm just gonna chill. Make YouTube videos. I'm not gonna do this pandemonium better. I'm gonna do it so much better than I did last time. So much better.
This facility in an unsecured method at an inappropriate time. As it was mentioned earlier, the hantavirus, in order for it to spread, it does need prolonged human-to-human contact.
That's what they said about COVID. Remember, you got to be next to someone under 6 feet for 20 minutes. Remember that shit? That's prolonged, bro. You got to be next to someone for 20 minutes. 6 feet away. Remember? I had a button that said 6 feet. I had a button that said 6 feet, and I started wearing this one actually during COVID. It says, "Don't panic. Don't panic."
So this is different from the COVID-19 virus. But we have a very structured, strong plan in place to make sure that nobody is walking out the door of this facility onto the streets of Omaha or beyond.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because I believe it's a 42-day monitoring period. So when will these passengers be allowed to leave the facility and go back home? Is it before that 42-day period ends?
So that is the 42-day incubation period, yes, but there are going to be individual plans and case-by-case bases on how these people are doing. We have done something in Nebraska that has not been done anywhere else in the country, where within 48 hours we stood up testing capabilities for hantavirus.
I also had one that was like a plague doctor, and it said, "Wash thy hands." I think it said, "Wash thy fucking hands." I can't remember. Wash your hands. No, don't wash your hands, everybody. Whatever you do, don't wash your hands. I want you to not wash your hands. Because go on lots of cruises, everybody. Go on lots of cruises because I want a do-over of the lockdown. I want the lockdown again, please. Don't wash your hands.
In the Mediterranean, the possible torpedoing of a Russian ship to stop the Kremlin handing submarine nuclear reactors to North Korea begins in a quiet Spanish port.
This really is the craziest of stories about a Russian shadow fleet ship that sank off the coast here in the strangest of circumstances, whose Russian captain confessed to investigators here that it was carrying 2 nuclear reactors, possibly for a submarine headed for an unknown destination, the wreckage of all of which the Russian military spent a huge amount of time and effort destroying.
The incident is shrouded in silence, but concerns the most serious of issues: weapons proliferation between 2 nuclear powers and force being used to stop it. The Ursa Major ship loaded up near St. Petersburg in early December 2024, on paper bound for Vladivostok, with a cargo of 2 huge cranes and over 100 empty containers.
What?
It made another stop, loading 2 large manhole covers. You can see them in blue here, along with 2 white pill-shaped objects, which will later prove important. It set sail, a shadow fleet ship used by Russia in Syria. The Portuguese Navy followed it from above. You can see the blue covers here, until just before it ran into trouble in Spanish waters.
It was way further out to sea when the Ursa Major on the 22nd of December 2024 suddenly slowed, and Spanish rescuers noticed this and they radioed to ask if anything was wrong. The ship insisted it was fine and could deal with the situation.
But about 24 hours later, it made a sharp deviation and issued an urgent call for help. The boat was listing, this video shows, filmed from a nearby tanker, but probably not going to sink too fast. The captain of the ship later told investigators he'd seen a 50 centimetre by 50 centimetre hole in the hull, the damaged metal facing inwards, a source close to the investigation said. The captain said it had been followed by 3 explosions on the starboard side of the boat, killing 2 of his crew.
What? Someone
The
killed
Russian
them?
military arrive in force and they tell everyone to stay 2 nautical miles away from their ship, the Ursa Major. But the Spanish know they need to conduct a rescue operation, so they send this ship to pick up 14 Russian survivors who were brought back here. And that includes the Russian captain, who it seems starts to help investigators piece together some of what's happened. But it's hours later that day that the mood changes over the Ursa Major ship, and the Russian military fire flares over it, and then a series of explosions follow, which Spanish seismic sensors picked up. And they send the ship to the seabed floor.
Moscow demanded their crew back too fast, but it didn't happen immediately.
Spanish rescuers.
Why do they give the Russians red blankets? I feel like a red blanket's a little too on the nose for the Russians, right? They give the Russians red blankets. Hey, welcome. Bienvenido a España, Ruski. Have a red blanket. Una sábana roja. ¿Quieres una sábana roja, Ruski?
Brought the 14 Russian surviving crew to this hotel, and it's here where the Russian captain started telling investigators key information. Now, there's been near silence from the Spanish government about this incident, but they've recently released this statement confirming that the Russian captain confessed here to investigators his ship was carrying 2 nuclear reactors, probably meant for submarine use, and he also said he simply wasn't sure if those reactors had fuel in them.
Oh,
There's no
my
evidence of contamination. The captain also told investigators he thought he would not stop first at Vladivostok, but instead be told to divert to the North Korean port of Rason, according to the investigation source. That could explain why the extra cranes were needed to help lift the reactors safely. Russia was in North Korea's debt at that time. Kim Jong-un had 2 months earlier sent troops to help Russia's invasion of Ukraine, leaving analysts curious as to what the Kremlin had given him in return.
Oh, that made sense. Remember when the North Koreans went to Ukraine and they all got to watch porn for the first time? Remember that shit? That was pretty intense. Red Russian, you order this? I'll have a Caucasian, please. Oh, I got a drink here, dude.
In December 2025, North Korea would claim to have built this, their first nuclear-powered submarine. The Spanish investigation surmised a likely reactor would be this, the VM-4SG, shown in a Russian submarine here on state TV.
Look at that.
Its dimensions are not public, but CNN analysis shows reactor vessels match the shape of at least one of the white objects seen in St. Petersburg's container port on December the 4th, both gone by December the 11th, when the ship had left.
If these reactors have come out of decommissioned submarines, then they will be radioactive, although obviously not as much as if they were fully loaded with fuel.
How incredibly rare is this kind of transfer of technology? This is quite serious stuff.
It's not something that's undertaken lightly, and it's only something that's ever done between very close allies.
So it's a major move by Moscow to decide to do this.
Very, very.
Troubling?
Potentially, yes, particularly if you're South Korea.
Well, that makes sense. Like if you're in North Korea and you're sending your boys out to die in Ukraine, I mean, you want something for that flesh, right? Basically, governments are just flesh merchants. They're selling human beings for power, and so they've rounded up some human beings. They sent them to Russia, and in exchange for nuclear reactors, so they can put them in their submarine. And of course, they're old nuclear reactors. Not like Russia's going to give them brand new, hot off the press nuclear reactors. So there's a radioactive material inside, meaning now at the bottom of the Mediterranean, Russian nuclear shit going on, radioactive. You get some three-eyed fish. Turn your boy parts to girl parts. Turn the frogs gay.
Bottom of the sea, but the Russians weren't done yet. And according to a source familiar with the investigation, about a week after the incident, a Russian research vessel called the Yantar, linked in the past to all sorts of allegations against Moscow, sat over the wreckage for about 5 days, and 4 more explosions followed. Possibly the Russians destroying what was left of the wreckage.
In the months after, the US may have shown interest in the site, twice sending a rare WC-135R Constant Phoenix, usually secretly sniffing out traces of nuclear activity in Russia's Arctic or over Iran, over the path of the Ursa Major, weaving low at 5,000 feet. One had flown a similar route 13 months earlier, perhaps suggesting its routine. The aircraft's US base declined to provide any details. Spanish lawmakers have urgently sought answers, but got few.
Cuando alguien no te dice claramente y no te da la información claramente y extensa de lo que pides, por lo menos sospechas que te está escondiendo algo, por supuesto.
Pero siempre tenemos las sábanas rojas.
Puesto que sí. La caja negra.
Por los rusas.
Nos han dicho que se ha hundido con el barco, que está a 2.500 metros de profundidad y que la operación hace, por su alto riesgo, imposible. Entonces, yo creo que la caja negra la tiene alguien, pero claro, no sabemos si es el gobierno de España o los propios rusos que la han localizado, ¿no?
So why did the ship sink? The Spanish investigation said the first impact was likely...
Sorry to everyone who doesn't speak Spanish, but
from a projectile called a...
I forgot to read it to you. Sometimes when I speak a language, I just forget to read the subtitles.
A cavitating torpedo.
He basically said, we've been looking into this shit, the Russians, man. They gotta tell us themselves, these fuckers.
That fires air in front of itself to reach very high speed. Others point to something simpler.
The hole in the hull that the captain talked about, 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter. Yeah. What could make something like that?
From the description I've seen, the description you've given, that hole to me sounds like a limpet mine. It sounds like a shaped charge explosive that was placed against the hull by somebody or something and detonated.
The Russian owners immediately called the sinking a targeted terrorist attack. They, the Russian, Spanish and British militaries, did not reply to a request for comment, and the Pentagon declined to. There are few Western militaries operating there, capable of noticing, tracking and stopping a cargo like this. All sides, it seems, happy for the secret to stay on the seafloor.
More proof that radicals rule the Democratic Party? Plenty of liberals.
Man, what do you think about that? We're going to town on that. That seems mean, right? Like they got nuclear weapons going to North Korea, nuclear reactors, and we're at war with Iran, and they don't even have any nuclear reactors. But North Korea, they got them. Why are we okay with North Korea having it, by the way? It seems weird, right? But hey, we're okay with people having them sometimes. Sometimes we're cool with it.
Already see AOC as a top 2028 contender. But apparently, the White House isn't big enough for her ambitions. Watch. They assume that...
Oh my God, they're going to spin this? It took them a few days to catch up with this, because I thought this was one of the greatest things I've heard any politician say, and now she's saying it, and it took a while for Fox News to find a way to spin it. Interesting.
My ambition is a title or a seat. My ambition is way bigger than that. My ambition is to change this country. Presidents come and go, but single-payer healthcare is forever. A living wage is forever. Workers' rights are forever. Women's rights, all of that.
And if that wasn't stupid enough, AOC served up this eyebrow-raising take on the American...
If that wasn't stupid enough. God damn it, women. I find like sometimes when I see women like really tear into other women like that, I feel like it feels naughty. It feels nasty to me. It feels... A woman calling another woman who's like trying to ascend to power stupid. You stupid. That's so stupid. I don't think it was stupid what she said. My ambition is not title.
American Revolution.
You look at Thomas Jefferson writing to Madison in revolt of British aristocracy.
Yeah.
The American Revolution was against the billionaires of their time.
Yeah, but the billionaires were really just trying to keep our Western expansion from continuing because the genocide against the Indians was costing a lot of money for the Brits, and they didn't want us to keep doing it. Plus, slavery was a whole thing. Like, slavery was changing, and really, I mean, it seems that the American Revolution, among other things, was sort of about Western expansion and wanting to kill the Indians, but and also slavery, of course. It's always about slavery in America. It always comes back to slavery in America.
It's actually the most American thing in the world for us to be fighting for the working class. And it's actually patently un-American to try to
That's Kellyanne Conway.
aspire to transform our country into a place of kings.
And her fellow comrade, Maine Senate candidate Graham Plattner.
She used to work for Donald Trump. Now she works for Fox
got a Nazi
News.
tattoo and wore it for 20 years. Well, he is also getting in on the billionaire bashing.
And what's amazing to me is we're doing that. Meanwhile, the total amount of uncollected tax
Is the position of MAGA now pro-billionaire? Is that all it is? That's your whole thing? You're like, I really love billionaires. And Democrats are like, we like billionaires slightly less.
from corporations in this country is in the hundreds of billions of dollars.
Well, where to start? I mean, Tom, you're the
Yeah, she does look pretty bad, but that's because she's fucking evil, man. This is Kellyanne Conway after a lot of work done. A lot of work done for Kellyanne. Remember she used to wear like little cute outfits back in the first Trump term?
comedian at the table, but she's making us laugh out loud, rewriting the American Revolution. Look, AOC's kooky is getting spooky, but I want to ask what she's actually accomplished. She's going for her 5th term in Congress. She's been in Congress for over 2,500 days, probably. What has she done for the working people? What has she done for women's rights? She talks a lot. She delivers very well.
2,500 days?
But this billionaire talk, it's still...
Okay, so Congress 5 terms, that's 10 years. She's been there for 8 years, and she's maybe going into her 10th year. But let's see, see if that's right. What year was AOC first elected to Congress? 2018. No, she's totally full of shit, man. It's 6 years ago. She took office in January 2019, so 7 years ago. She's not going into her 5th term. That's not true. What the hell, Kellyanne?
It still is going to return dividends for Democrats. And this guy in Maine, I mean, he's a total phony, but he's got the voice and he's down by the water and he's shucking oysters. You know, he's dangerous, you know, and
he's dangerous. He's an oyster farmer with a Nazi tattoo.
And when they talk about the billionaires, it does resonate with some people. But, you know, billionaires are not Republican. I just looked up the numbers. It's 30-something, 38, 39% of billionaires are Republican. There's a lot of left-wing billionaires as well. Okay, but Republicans need to learn how to talk about this stuff because they throw out this billionaires thing, and it's meaningless because Graham Plattner is not...
There are no left-wing billionaires. A person on the left wing would never be a billionaire. A person on the left wing would rather die than be a billionaire. If I were a billionaire, I'd give it all away. I don't need $1 billion. If someone said, here's $1 billion, I'd give away 90%.
Going to be able to solve this. You know, when he's talking about what's he going to go get the money? Is he going to get his own Doge and find this money? You know, go get the billionaires? He's not. He's going to go to Washington. He's going to hold hands with Democrats to further ruin our country. That's the message they need to get out there. This billionaires thing is ridiculous, and it's not because billionaires are great. Republicans are the ones who say, you know what? I don't care about billionaires. I don't care about them. Go ahead, take.
Why don't they care about the billionaires?
Your money. I don't care. It's not going to work. You're not going to get your money. You're not going to, solve your budget shortfall picking the pockets of billionaires.
Yeah, you could. Absolutely, you can pay for a lot by picking the pockets of billionaires. Start with Elon Musk.
Doesn't work.
It's true, and Tom's saying.
In fact, start with the owner of this piece of shit network.
Kennedy, that less than 40% of billionaires identify as Republican because they can afford to be liberal, but the rest of us can't. But what happened to the Democratic Party? Let's get back to that. These really are the faces of the Democratic Party: Hassan Piker and Abdul Al-Sayed, who's winning.
Hassan Piker? What the hell did she just say?
Less than 40% of billionaires identify as Republican because they can afford to be liberal, but the rest of us can't.
Billionaires give money to both sides. That's how they play. They don't care about Republican or Democrat. Only idiots think about Republican and Democrat. It doesn't really matter. Red or blue, both doors, whether you paint the door red or blue, both go to the gas chamber.
What happened to the Democratic Party? Let's get back to that. These really are the faces of the Democratic Party: Hassan Piker and Abdul Al-Sayed, who's winning in Michigan in the U.S. Senate race. All this crazy talk. What happened to the fun liberals like your aunt?
Well, it's Aunt Jane. I mean, she was a legend on Haight-Ashbury, and she was passing jugs of wine and joints back in the 60s, and she would have gotten along with everybody. But these people, it's funny because earlier today the president was talking.
Hassan Piker's the left. Hassan Piker's not the left. Sorry, Hassan Piker's another capitalist. He's not the left. He's just a Democrat, honey. Democrats are not left, honey. Listen, sweetheart. Democrats are not the left. Even if Fox News keeps saying they are, they're not. The left wing has never been Democrat. The Democrats have never been left wing. It's never been a thing. It's not a thing now. Stop repeating politicians. Just because Donald Trump's like lunatic left wing, anarchist, communist, socialist, fascist, Democrats. Like, if you believe that, buy Melania coin. Buy Melania coin because Donald Trump said it's the greatest financial tool for the future of American prosperity. If you believe Donald Trump, buy Melania coin. Sell your house, sell your cars, sell everything. Buy Melania coin. It's the greatest invention the world has ever known. It's a wonderful investment. Do it. It's better. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Melania coin. Buy all of it.
Talking about the big divide with the people he's negotiating with in Iran, and you've got the moderates and the lunatics. It's the same thing in the Democrat Party. You've got the moderates, and I think most Democrats would consider themselves to be pretty rational, pretty moderate, but the loudest people and the only ones with ideas, unfortunately, they're god-awful ideas, are the lunatics. They are the progressives, and you've got the general, the Fuhress, who's out there, and she frankly sounds like a fascist. She's talking about the presidency isn't enough. It's like 4 years isn't enough. I want all of it. That sounds like a completely unhinged authoritarian person.
What? That is fucking fantastic. Yeah, AOC saying she doesn't want to be a president because healthcare is forever. Voters' rights are forever. That's an unhinged authoritarian saying that she wants people to have the right to vote. But Donald Trump wanting a third term, that's not authoritarian at all. Holy shit, man. It's just like, it really is. I love Fox News because you get little nuggets like this. AOC's the authoritarian. Are you fucking serious right now? AOC. The bartender from the Bronx. Yeah. Great.
Wants to inflate the size of the state and wants to increase taxation, which isn't going to be on billionaires. That is going to be on the middle class. She is in Congress. Congress writes
the biggest tax increase I've ever experienced in my life is under Donald Trump in the form of tariffs and shitty gas prices. Donald Trump has put a bigger tax on me than any president in my entire life.
Laws for the tax code. So why has she not worked to rewrite the laws to get more from billionaires, like Bernie Sanders wants? It's because she isn't good at her job. What she has lorded over is disinviting Amazon from creating jobs and wealth.
Oh, sweet havoc. You still haven't heard. Most of the Palisades fire victims and all the stuff going on there. In fact, California is revoking State Farm's a license to operate in the state because they aren't paying out. All those people who are insured aren't getting their money because of the corrupt system of capitalism, because the insurance companies are trying not to pay. That's what's happening in Palisades, smarty pants. Democrats and socialists are corrupt. Have you heard about this ballroom? God damn it. God damn it, Sweet Havoc. I don't know what you're doing here. You're so goddamn stupid. It's like it's painful to hear you. It's painful because it's like I know you're a human being and you have a soul and you probably want to be a good person, but it's like you're just so dumb. You're just so dumb. Are you 12? You must be 12 years old. You gotta be a kid, right? That's the only thing I could think of. Sweet Havoc, you gotta be a 12-year-old. It's the only thing that makes sense.
And prosperity and a future for New Yorkers when she got them to shutter their idea and the hookers on our...
Yes, buy Melania coin. It's the greatest financial tool for the future prosperity of America. Donald Trump says so. It's endorsed by the First Lady. Please, if you believe Donald Trump on anything, believe him on Melania coin because he always tells the truth.
Avenue, which are in her congressional district. That's what she's accomplished. And now she's boring us to tears with her revisionist, remedial history. Go back and look at the Stamp Acts. What were the colonists, what were they revolting against? Taxation. And
taxation without representation. They didn't care about tax as much as they cared about representation. No taxation without representation. That's what they talked about. Federalism and the idea of if you're going to take our money, we want something in return, and that return would be representation in the government. The Stamp Act was really one that pissed everybody off, but it's just one in a long line of punishing things that the British were doing. Mad King George.
She and Graham Plattner, they are looking for more ways to tax you and not just tax the billionaires because those plans never involve that. Class warfare is never effective. but she doesn't care because she doesn't really have any other plan.
Class warfare is never effective. Oh, I mean, the American Revolution, a big component of that was class warfare. But tell that to the French. I mean, they cut off all the billionaires' heads, and they did great. It took a while. It took about 50 years, you know. But they still, after that 50 years, France doing great, man. France is beautiful. Took a while, but after you I figure if we cut off all the billionaires' heads like they did in the French Revolution, I think we could recover more quickly. Maybe it'll be like 10 years of bad times, right? You do a bloodbath in like 10 years instead of 50 years. I don't think it would take us so long to recover from killing all the billionaires like it did for the French when they killed all of the aristocracy. It took a while to bounce back from that. But they did it, and they were better for it.
Then to make herself as powerful as possible and her cronies as rich as possible, like Tim Walz's cronies and Gavin Newsom's cronies and all the other people who profit off of a bloated state when your tax money is stolen from you.
I like to stick up for Arthur Avenue. When I think of it, I think of prosciutto and cannolis, not hookers. Turning to our Virginia man.
Get it all. It's one-stop shopping now, Kelly.
Virginia man, Charlie Hurt. She's revisiting the American Revolution. Can you give us a little history lesson on her?
Yes, Melania movie. Kieran, yes, great. 10 out of 10. Her Michael Jackson was my favorite. Well, not my favorite. My favorite part was just a touch, just a touch, just a touch. Like when she's like really getting in to her designers to make sure that her dress is just right. Just a touch, it's too tight, not too tight enough. More straight, more straight. I love Melania. Great movie. Everyone should watch it. Buy Melania coin.
When she went to the Munich Security Conference, she made a fool of herself on a world stage. She didn't know where Venezuela is. She asked her basic questions that any of us could answer, and she couldn't. And now she's telling us about the American Revolution.
Yeah, and she's on the wrong side of the American Revolution because, as Kennedy pointed out, they rose up against a rapacious authoritarian government. That was the whole point. And she is fighting in favor of the rapacious authoritarian government, and all of the taxes that they raise goes to that to that government. Look no further than.
No, it wasn't just that. This guy. I love how they twist the American Revolution. A rapacious authoritarian government. Yeah, that's true. But it was different ideas back then of what we wanted to do. We had this thing called enlightenment, and we really hated the idea of a king. Makes sense, right? Who the fuck wants a king? You don't want a king. You want representation. If you tax me, I want representation. We had neoclassical ideas of, we wanted to bring back Greek democracy and Greek trial by jury and stuff. It was all shit that we read about in the Greek shit. It was really quite popular, which is why a lot of our old school revolutionary and our old government buildings, they look like Greek temples and shit with the big columns, this neoclassical design, was because we were obsessed. Americans were obsessed with the idea of Greek democracy. In the age of enlightenment, it made sense, right? This return to kind of science and secularism and rule by the people through the elites, filtered through the elites. It made perfect sense for that time, 250 years ago. It made perfect sense. It wasn't just, we don't want taxes, there's a lot going on.
Obamacare. How's that working out for people? Not very well. I don't think that there are a radical and normal wing when it comes to politicians anymore. In Virginia, you have somebody like Abigail Spanberger, who ran as a moderate, as a pro-security moderate. She came into office with a surplus. The first thing she did was raise taxes on Virginians who had already been overtaxed.
I also want to get rid of deport Melania and Elon. Also, Kevin O'Leary has to go. Yeah, Kevin O'Leary. Thank you. Kevin O'Leary has to go. We got to get rid of Kevin O'Leary, man. It's got to happen. Kevin O'Leary must go. He should not be in the United States. Melania emoji. Should we do a Melania coin? I'm working on a Melania coin. Well, Parallelish. Parallelish is doing a Melania coin T-shirt. We should make out of the Melania coin. Also put it in the. Yeah, we could put it as an emoji. It'd be funny. I want a king just as much as I want a prostate exam. Well, depending on who's giving you the prostate exam, it could be a fun time. Is that a Bored Ape in your PFP? Do you have a Bored Ape virtual? Do you have a Bored Ape?
Hegseth is threatening an investigation over these comments.
We've been briefed by the Pentagon on specific munitions. Actually, it's been pretty detailed on Tomahawks, ATACMS, SM-3s, THAAD rounds, Patriot rounds, so those interceptor rounds to defend ourselves. And the numbers are, I think it's fair to say it's shocking, how deep we have gone into these magazines. The munitions are depleted.
Hegseth says that Senator Kelly was, quote, blabbing about a classified Pentagon briefing. Senator, what's going on here? Why is Secretary Hegseth threatening to investigate you?
Well, I think it's comes down to it. He doesn't want to be held accountable. They've expended. And
I always love like this guy with his twin brother, and they're astronauts. Like this guy, Mark Kelly. I don't know, man. I kind of like him. I guess I just like astronauts, people who stick it to the bad guys. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like this guy.
Enormous amount of munitions, and I think the only investigation we need, the one we need right now, is after 15,000 strikes. All we got out of this, we have 13 dead Americans. We got the Strait of Hormuz closed. Gas prices in Arizona are $4.80 a gallon, seem to be heading up, and we have a Secretary of Defense. Not only is the
Wait, didn't we have a bet on that? We bet $20 by the end of summer, didn't we? Damn it! What was the over under? It was $20. It was $20. Are you taking the over or the under on $20? Hold on, let's do a thing really quick. Will gas get to 20? Over under. Let's do a quick one. I know that we did this before, but what do you think? He's saying that it's going to go on. So just put a 1 in the comment for 1 for over, 2 for under, $20. Will gas get to $20? What do you think? Like by the end of the year? Because I mean, summer, man. We're not even in summer. It's $6.50 right now where I live. In LA and San Francisco, it's almost $7 for regular unleaded gasoline. Yours truly says it's going to stay under. It's going to stay. You got 1 for under, 2 for under, huh? I don't know. I think no, 2, yeah, under. 1 for over, 2 for under. What do you guys think? Crazy to me, man. Crazy. All right, let's go.
Ill-prepared, unprepared, unqualified for this job. He doesn't want to be held accountable for the actions.
But do you understand, because I don't, so I'm sincerely asking, what is it exactly that you said that he is alleging was classified?
Well, nothing I said was classified. We had this discussion in an open hearing. When you are going to hit 15,000 targets, you're going to use a lot of munitions. Things coming off of airplanes, there's missiles that are being shot. They're responding with ICBMs, which we have to take out with air defense systems. Yeah. Not classified. I mean, 15,000 strikes consume an enormous amount. And by the way, he's asking for $25 to $50 billion to replenish these munitions.
I see people putting 2, but I don't see anything in the. Everyone's saying 2, but I don't. My widget doesn't seem to be working. Damn it! It looks like everyone's saying 2 though. Everyone thinks it's going to be under. All right, I'm glad. I'm glad you guys think it'll be under. I'm happy with that. I think more of you said over last time. 20 would be a practical shutdown of the country. Yeah, 10 will cause riots. Do you think it'll get to 10? I mean, we're almost to 10 right now. I mean, what if it gets to 10?
He said it's going to take years. So again, what he's trying to avoid is accountability. This thing is not going the way they expected. They went into this without a strategic goal, without a plan, without a timeline. Now they have no exit strategy, and they're flailing. And when somebody like me starts asking them questions, whether it's I make a point on a show like yours or in an open hearing.
Oh, it looks like 100% of everybody said under. Okay, great.
They don't want to give specific answers because they probably, at this point, they realize that they've made a number of mistakes.
He, in his post where he said he would open this legal review into your remarks, he addressed you as captain, in quotation marks. I guess this is a reference to his effort to reduce your military rank, which would lower your pay. He has this case against you. You sued him for violating your First Amendment rights. Where does that case stand?
Well, last week I was at the D.C. Circuit Court, which is the appellate court, because they appealed. I had a preliminary injunction to stop that process. We'll see how that turns out. Bottom line, though, on this, Jake, is this is not about me. This is about 2 million retired service members. And for anybody who listened to that hearing last week, one of the really interesting parts was at the end when Pete Hegseth's lawyer, which is a DOJ lawyer, said that if any service member like myself, who served 20 or 25 years in the military, if they want their First Amendment rights, they should give up their retirement, give up their pension, give up their health care. And then they would be free to speak out. How un-American is that? I mean, people who have given the most for this country are being asked now by this administration, or told, hey, if you don't do this, if you don't shut up, you could.
Well, also, you say Trick or Treat says trucking is already broken down. $10 is ground zero. Trucking is getting worse. Did you hear that anyone who's a DACA recipient, and there are many DACA dreamers who are truck drivers, they're having their licenses revoked because Donald Trump thinks immigrants shouldn't have driver's licenses for trucks because 1 or 2 immigrants got in car accidents. So he wants to. So all that's going to do is drive the price of trucking up. I saw a report yesterday of a guy. He's been trucking for 15 years. He's got 3 kids. He's been in the country since he was 2 years old, and they just revoked his driver's license. What are you qualified to do? And let me tell you, that is like straight up Nazi shit. Like, oh, you're not a real German, so you can't get a driver's license. Hasn't the USA gas reserve stockpile already hit 48% the Iran? Yes. Our oil reserves are already quite low, and they're going to get lower. So what's going to happen? We'll be buying all our oil from Mexico. It's dangerous shit, man. I guess to just hope that we'll be able to turn on the spigot over in Venezuela. Steve is mad. We'll let him be him. Steve got mad because I said that you shouldn't. That it's kind of exploitative to say that you're going to go to a gay bar and learn how to talk to girls by flirting with gays. Whatever, man. People get weird. People are weird.
Lose your pension. You could lose your rank. And
the idea that American service members don't have the right to freedom of speech is fucking insane. And the fact that the government's saying it out loud, it just goes to show this president hates freedom of speech. This president hates the fact that you could say anything about him that you want. This president hates the fact you can flip him off. You can burn a flag. You could say, I don't like what's happening. He hates what I'm doing right now. He hates people telling jokes about him. He just can't take it because he's a little crybaby little bitch. He's a fucking wuss who can't take a hit. But he could call people names all day. But if anyone calls him a name, he goes and he cries about it. It's classic MAGA bully behavior. They'll try to punch you, but as soon as you punch back, they clutch their pearls. Oh no, why? Why are you so mean to me? You're so violent. It's always the same with these guys. It's the same. Nazis do the same thing every time. It's a tired old playbook. Oh, Bartleby. Oh, humanity. I swear to God.
18 patients from that hantavirus-stricken cruise ship have been brought back to the United States now. What do you think the odds are that the Trump administration will contend with that risk in ways that are sane and organized and even vaguely scientific? This is the Trump administration that fired thousands of scientists from the CDC, scientists in particular who work on infectious diseases and all sorts of global health concerns. Also, they fired the people who work specifically on the issue of viruses spreading on cruise ships.
Weird.
Yeah, what do we need those folks for? Get rid of them. It would usually be the CDC that would be the lead agency in the whole world on a crisis like this. But under Donald Trump, there's not even a CDC director right now. Right now, they've got the CDC being run as a part-time job by the guy who is also part-time running the NIH. That is the guy who is most famous for his role in a declaration that said, let's try to maximize...
I would eat more beef tallow. I wanna, my brain worm is making me say things that I don't want to say. Fire everybody at the CDC.
Is the number of Americans who get infected with COVID-19. Because sure, COVID will go on to kill more than 1 million Americans in that pandemic, but do we really think that's bad? Surely we could have upped those numbers a little higher?
Oh, look, man, I'm really sorry about the 1 million people who died. I knew a lot of them. Look, I still want a do-over. Please shut down everything. Lockdown's coming. Please don't wash your hands. Please take more cruises. Please, everybody who's watching, take a cruise. And everybody who's watching, do not wash your hands. Spread it around like butter, baby. Just spread it around. Just get the hantavirus and spread it. Become a super spreader, baby. Help me out. I want to just chill. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right this time. I want a do-over for that pando.
That's who Trump has running the CDC, again, as a part-time job. Under Trump, the FDA is being run by a guy who, it was widely reported on Friday, is being fired from his job at the FDA. There's an incredulous headline tonight at Politico.com saying basically, why is this guy still showing up at work? Macri keeps working. Yeah, isn't he fired? Didn't we all hear on Friday that he was getting fired? We don't know. We'll see. We do know that under his leadership, the FDA just approved fruit-flavored vapes. Because who among us does not want to make America healthy again by starting a maximum number of middle school boys and girls on grape-flavored e-cigarette megadose of nicotine bombs?
Flavored grape.
Under Donald Trump, the U.S. government's health
so
agencies are also
nice.
leaning in on tanning beds for kids. Seriously, for kids. So your kid can have healthy-looking skin like HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Start him early enough and
Look how
they'll look like this in no time.
he looks great.
Pass the vape. But don't worry, Trump has just nominated yet another person for Surgeon General. This will be his third Surgeon General nominee. Neither of the first two have panned out. The last one he nominated, turns out, didn't have a medical license. The one before that said she was a graduate of the medical school of the University of Arkansas, but it turns out she was not at all a graduate of the University of Arkansas Medical School. This latest one he's nominated is a Fox News personality who sells tinctures on Instagram. And what she says are, quote, powerful physician-formulated aphrodisiacs. So clearly we're in good hands. Or at least we're in hands.
I love this. I think this is great. The NIH should have always been selling this stuff. You know, if you think about it, the NIH should have been selling this shit for years. They make so much money off of all this, like testing on animals and making sure that we, do weird stuff like take ginseng and stick it up our butts. I think we should be making money off of this ages ago. Thanks. I'm so glad that RFK Jr. is making all this money for America. I'm sure it's going to America.
This place was not properly taken care of.
Oh, wait.
I was told by my wife, you have to act presidential, so don't use foul language. I won't. And therefore, normally I would have said it was a shit house, but I don't want to say that.
He said that about the White House. The White House is a shit house, is it? That's great.
The columns were falling down. The plaster was falling off. You made a speech, and I was saying, couldn't you fix up the paint job up there? You know, it looked, and this place is tippy-top now.
That's funny because I've been to the White House and it did not, nothing was falling apart. This guy's a lying piece of shit. That's not true. And everyone, all the maggers, you believe it? You believe what he's saying, that the White House was falling apart and that the paint was chipped? Is that what you believe? I've been there. I've been there a few times. Let me tell you, it looked like it was in ship shape to me.
Including all the brand new beautiful stone. I paid for it myself. All of the
Oh, you paid for it yourself. Look at this guy.
My wife said I gotta be presidential, so I say, fuck you, bitch.
stone, all of the different things we have, and we're bringing the White House back to shape. I don't know if you got to walk into the marble, the statuary. It's called Statuario. The statuary marble. The white. I don't know if you got to walk in there. They probably.
It's called Statuario. It's got a statuary marble. Yeah. Don't you love marble? I know you do. Gold. We need more gold. It's real gold. It's not fake gold. You can't fake gold. You can't fake gold.
Probably see your law enforcement. They don't want you to walk into the house. They want to keep you as far away as possible. But it's beautiful, book matched. And I spent a lot of time on bringing this house back because this house was in very.
They want to keep it far away from as possible. You're not allowed to see it because you're not allowed to see if I'm telling the truth. They can't do it. We're not allowed to see it because this is all for me, not for you. I'm making it beautiful again. My house. It's my house. I'm be here till I die.
Bad shape. Those walls were in horrible shape. I'm looking at them now. Look at them. They're perfect.
Perfect
the plaster
walls.
was falling off. It was terrible. It's a White House. It's got to look incredible. It's got to be in pristine. And the big thing is we're building a ballroom in the back, which will be, I think, the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world. You'll never see anything like it. And it'll
Who
also be-
goes to hear this asshole talk? Like, can you imagine going to someone's house and they fucking talk? I can't even stand the American tradition of going to someone's house and they give you a fucking tour. I don't need a tour of your house. I really don't. Please don't give me a tour of your house. Let's just sit down and have coffee, okay? Beer. I don't give a shit. I do not need a tour of it. I don't know what it is about Americans giving you a tour of the house. I don't understand that. You guys want a tour of my house? No. I do not need to know how many square footage your house is. I don't need to know, how many bedrooms your house has. I don't need to know any of that shit. Please don't give me a tour of your house, okay? I'm so sick of it. This is why I can't get along with people, man. Americans are so weird. In other countries, they don't like, hey, welcome to my house. You want a tour? No. You want to tell me every little thing that you've done to improve your house? I'm not interested. I don't want to hear, if that's your hobby, I mean, okay, tell me, I guess. But, bro, this guy's just a dude excited about his hobby.
I painted this wall right here. It was a horrible wall. It was so ugly. And now look at it. It's such a beautiful wall because I did it. And also over here, if you come over here, look at what I did here with the column. It's such a beautiful column. It was the column was not beautiful before me. And now look at the column.
And then I don't give a shit. A ballroom. I'm so happy you got a ballroom. I don't know anyone who can afford their medications or healthcare. We got to have a ballroom for these guys to party, man. Frankie Berry, why are you going to keep these billionaires from partying with our president? If I go to a friend's house and it's new, I'd like a tour. Fuck. I don't know why Americans want tours of each other's homes. I don't understand it, man. Like, why do I want a tour of your house? Oh, this is where you sleep. Is it? Is it? Well, I sleep in a room very similar to this one. I do. Yes, it's similar to this. I have a bed, and there's like a little table next to my bed thing. It's called a nightstand for some reason. I have it there. I put my water on it when I sleep, and there's a clock on it too, so I know what time it is when I wake up. Yeah, it's a lot like this setup, actually. A lot like this. Oh, you have a guest room. Okay, this guest room looks very similar to my guest room. There's a fold-out bed and a little place that, you sometimes do work. There's a desk in here for when you do your work sometimes. Cool. Nice. Oh, this is your living room. You watch TV in here, do you? I have a similar room, similar setup. There's a TV on this side and the couch is on that side, but other than that, it's a very similar setup. Why the fuck are we giving each other tours of their houses? Oh, no, I'm not doing Watching Humans today. I'm not doing Watching Humans today. I'm about to close it down right here. Why? I'm not doing Watching Humans today. We're doing it tomorrow. Tomorrow, Watching Humans. Today, no Watching Humans. But thank you. I appreciate you. No, I don't want to do the Tuesday show. I don't feel like I was adding much to the Tuesday show, you know? The Tuesday show is cool and everything, but I just don't feel like I was doing it. I don't feel like I was adding anything, you know? I feel like I add something on Wednesday. I don't like people over either. I like people over. I don't even walk around the house I live in. Yeah, exactly. I just got a notification from, someone sent me $100 on Venmo. Thank you, Venmo. Send me $100 on Venmo. I really appreciate you. Steve, hey, Speaker Sargon of Akkad, you still do watch. I knew you did. Everyone's asking about where's Steve at. He's still out there. It's still great. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. So let's just watch Donald Trump one more time.
It's going to be a very safe ballroom. It's got glass this thick.
It's a safe ballroom. It's amazing. It's got glass this thick. Thicker than Arnold Palmer's schlong.
The glass is this thick, like 6 inches thick, and you look through it, and you can see as perfectly as though it weren't there. Now, how they do that, I don't know, but it's at the highest level of safety, and you won't have a situation like you had 2 weeks ago on Saturday night.
No,
we gathered here.
No, you won't have a situation like that. A guy literally didn't even make it into the ballroom. Didn't even make it in, guy.
Begin Police Week. Very important, my friends. I won about 98% of the police in this country, and we're trying to figure out who are the other 2%.
98%! We gotta find out who the other 2% is so we can kill them.
Because nobody can figure that one out. Figure that. And we pay tribute to the heroes who keep America safe, and they are heroes indeed.
Back now with the cell phones.
Let me tell you more about my renovations. I got new paint, everybody. I went to Home Depot. I got that discount with the Home Depot. After I bought all those appliques that I put all over the fucking Oval Office. It's such a beautiful office and lots of gold paint now. I paid it with my own money. I did it with my own money. I did it with my own money. Got that discount at Home Depot. It's a great place. Home Depot, so nice. United States.
Saga top story has been tracking for a month. You know, it's been nearly a year since the announcement of this new wireless service called Trump Mobile. But so far, it seems like customers have been left on hold. This venture, if you will, spearheaded by the president's 2 older sons, Don Jr. and Eric, initially. They touted the rollout of this gold-colored phone. It's set to be sold for just under $500. So it rolled out. People were asked to put down a $100 deposit if they wanted one. But since then, the release date has been delayed. The phones still have not shipped. It is not clear when or if, in fact, they ever will. Let me bring in our Brian Chung.
Why don't we have these Trump? Where's my Trump phone? I put all my money in Trump phone. I bought 12 Trump phones, and none of them have arrived.
Down a deposit to track the phone's development. To be clear, you dropped that deposit on your corporate card, right, Brian?
That's right.
And you've been on the phone with customer service for Trump Mobile, right? What are they telling you? Is this phone coming out or not?
Yeah, well, look, it's been almost a year now that we've been waiting for this phone. It was announced by the president's sons in a flashy Trump Tower announcement in June of last year. They said that this gold phone, which had an American flag on the back bearing their father's name, was going to be released to customers in August at a price point of only $499. And that seemed almost too good to be true, especially when you consider they were saying it was going to be made in the United States. So for that reason, we put down a $100 deposit, and August came and went, September came and went. At one point, we were promised a November 13 date. They were even telling me it would take 7 to 10 days to get shipped to me. I was ready to do the review, and then November came and went, December came and went, and here we are in May of 2026, and there appears to be no sign of it. I did
It's so funny. Did anybody think that he was going to deliver these phones? I mean, this is just it's really funny to me because I hear about grift and like, oh, NGOs at the Palisades fires. And it's like, you know that Donald Trump just ripped off a bunch of his people. The thing about Trump supporters, MAGers, is that everyone knows you're easy marks now. Everyone knows you're suckers. And that's why you guys keep getting scammed. Like, there's all these people coming forward now that started like Etsy's and shit to sell a bunch of MAGers, a bunch of dumb shit. And it worked. They made millions of dollars collectively, millions of dollars selling stupid MAGA shit to you guys. Because you'll buy it. Because you're suckers. Like, I mean, I remember when Biden was president, there was this MAGger on the street corner near my house selling flags, selling fuck Brandon or whatever they used to, go Brandon, whatever it said. Let's go Brandon. Oh my God. And he would just sat on the corner selling stuff with the stupid flags, and people would get out of their cars and buy it. Every time I saw him, someone was buying something from him. Because you guys are a bunch of suckers, a bunch of rubes, a bunch of hayseeds, a bunch of suckers, man.
Reach out to customer service.
They said a sucker's born every minute. Donald Trump is the P.T. Barnum of our generation.
Just today before we did this segment, and they told me there was no timeline that they could even offer right now. Of course, this has offered a lot of questions over whether or not this phone actually exists. And I want to point out the goalposts have moved on this as well. In addition to the phone originally being branded as made.
At least people got the sneakers, People got Melania coin. You were just annoyed by the chat. That's why you don't do Watching Humans on Tuesdays anymore. Annoyed by the chat? No, I just didn't really feel like I was canceling my Afterglow, and I didn't want to do that. And for 15 minutes, I don't know, it just seemed.
In the USA, the language on their website changed to American Proud Design, and now, Hallie, there's no mention of that American made product side of this at all on the.
And plus, 2 days on someone else's channel. I thought it was a good idea, but 2 days on someone else's channel, I could do like, I don't know.
Website. And moreover, the design of the phone itself changed. It looked like at one point the cameras were going to be arranged in a triangle. The new image on the site now looks like it's in a line.
His American Bible was also printed in China. Look how gorgeous. Make America Great Again. Man, it's changed the look. They changed it, huh?
So it's unclear what this phone looks like, if it even exists. We reached out to them.
It doesn't
the company,
exist.
We have received no response, Allie.
So let's say somebody put down one of these deposits and is like, all right, at this point, I need it back. I want my money back. I'm over it. I don't want the phone anymore. What can they do? Do they have any recourse here?
Yeah, so it was priced at $499. It's still priced at $499, but you had to put down a $100 deposit to quote-unquote get in line to get the phone, which we did put down. Now, there's some interesting new language on the website in their terms and conditions that was updated in April as part of a broad redesign of the website. And it says, quote, a pre-order deposit does not guarantee that a device will be produced or made available for purchase. So it seems like the terms and conditions themselves seem to acknowledge that this phone might not exist now, and it might not even exist ever. The deposit right now is being billed as refundable. It was not billed as refundable when NBC News put down the deposit. I did ring them. They did clarify to me that if I wanted to get my deposit back, I would. When we originally had the $100 taken out of the corporate card, I should also point out that we got a fraud alert asking if we wanted to confirm that transaction, which we did at the time, Hallie.
A fraud? They got a fraud alert. Well, it was a fraud. It is a fraud. Donald Trump's a fraud. He's a convicted fraudster, so it makes perfect sense. Yes, he is a liar and a scammer. Yes, he's a bandit and a heartbreaker. It has the extra large jitterbug buttons and everything. I love it. Yeah. What would be Trump's Sith name? I don't know, man. I don't know. Darth Ludicrous. Why is AT&T calling me? That's troubling. Why would AT&T call me? Golden Shittius. Darth Golden Shittius. Garth Gold Showerus. Shit about the 1950s. How does anybody give a shit about the 1950s? All right, Darth Shittius is perfect. Darth Shittius. Darth Diaper Pants. Darth Shittius. I think Damier got it. Y2V. Darth Shittius is perfect. Hey, everybody, we're going to do the Afterglow now for members only. Skyjack Morgan, Morning Sky. That's the name of the show. #1 news reaction show on YouTube. My name is Skyjack Morgan, independent news and culture commentator and free speech and critical thinking advocate. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you've liked and subscribed and got that bell icon on. We're going to do some more streams today. I have to meet. I'm going to do the poem, the quick Afterglow, quick members only session because I got to meet with my estate sale lady. She's coming by the house, and hopefully we'll be having an estate sale soon. Crazy thing to do, but this is the life I'm in right now. I'm in that mode. Oh, so weird, man. It's so weird. All right, we're going to do that. Like my tie? Thank you, Voided. I always like this tie. I love that blue and orange combo. I've always liked that combo. I've always been drawn to it. Thank you so much. Everyone always comments on this tie when I wear it. All right, see you guys later. Illegitimate non-carburetum. Don't let the bastards grind you down, because I need you, we need each other, and the animals need us most of all. And Godspeed, rebels. I'll catch you on the flip.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so friggin' much.